Shakespearean Youth Theatre presents Troilus and Cressida by William Shakespeare. The Trojan War has raged for 7 years. Trojan hero Hector strives to defend his city against an unrelenting siege from the Grecian forces. Achilles, the mighty Greek champion, has led his army to the brink of victory, but is growing weary of perpetual war. Inside the city walls, young Prince Troilus falls in love with Cressida, the daughter of a defector to the Greek side. As Hector and Achilles clash, Troilus and Cressida are thrust together and ripped apart by the changing tides of war.
In Troy, there lies the scene. From isles of Greece, the princes Orgulus, their high blood chafed, have to the port of Athens sent their ships, fraught with the ministers and instruments of cruel war. 69 that wore their crown its regal, from the Athenian bay put forth toward Phrygia, and their vow is made to ransack Troy, within whose strong imures th' abducted Helen, Menelaus' queen, with wanton Paris sleeps. And that's the quarrel. Menelaus, that cuckold crowned with horns, sails with the Greeks to Trojan lands, which sometimes Ilion or Phrygia are likewise called. Now expectation, tickling skittish spirits, on one and other side, Trojan and Greek, sets all on hazard. And hither am I come, a prologue armed, but not in confidence of author's pen or actor's voice, but suited in like conditions as our argument, to tell you, fair beholders, that our play leaps o'er the vaunt and firstlings of those broils, beginning in the middle, starting thence away to what may be digested in a play, like or find fault. Do as your pleasures are, now good or bad. 'Tis but the chance of war.
Call here my varlet, I'll unarm again. Why should I war without the walls of Troy that find such cruel battle here within? Each Trojan that is master of his heart, let him to field. Troilus, alas, hath none.
Will this gear ne'er be mended?
Greeks are strong and skillful to their strength, fierce to their skill, and to their fierceness valiant. But I am weaker than a woman's tear, tamer than sleep, fonder than ignorance, less valiant than the virgin in the night, and skillless as unpracticed infancy.
Well, I have told you enough of this. For my part, I'll not meddle, nor make no farther. He that will have a cake out of the wheat must tarry the grinding.
Have I not tarried?
I the grinding, but you must tarry the bolting.
Have I not tarried?
I the bolting, but you must tarry the leavening.
Still have I tarried.
I to the leavening, but here's yet in the word hereafter the kneading, the making of the cake, the heating of the oven, and the baking. Nay, you must stay the cooling too, or you may chance to burn your lips.
Patience herself. What goddess ere she be, doth lesser blench at sufferance than I do. At Priam's royal table do I sit, and when fair Cressida comes into my thoughts, so, traitor, when she comes, when is she then?
Well, she looked yesterday fairer than ever I saw her look, or any woman else.
I was about to tell thee, when my heart, as wedged with a sigh, would rive in twain, lest Hector or my father should perceive me. I have, as when the sun doth light a storm, buried this sigh and wrinkle of a smile.
And her hair were not somewhat darker than Helen's. Well, those two, there were no more comparison between the women, but for my part, she is my niece. I would not, as they term it, praise her. Oh, but I would somebody had heard her talk yesterday as I did. I will not dispraise your sister Cassandra's wit, but...
Oh, Pandarus, I tell thee, Pandarus, when I do tell thee, there my hopes lie drowned. Reply not in how many fathoms deep they lie indrenched. I tell thee, I am mad in Cressida's love. Thou answerest, she is fair. Pour'st in the open ulcer of my heart, her eyes, her hair, her cheek, her gait, her voice. But saying thus, instead of oil and balm, thou lay'st in every gash that love hath given me the knife that made it.
Faith, all not meddlant. Let her be as she is. If she be fair, 'tis the better for her, and she be not, she has the mends in her own hands.
How now, Pandarus?
I have had my labor for my travail, ill thought on of her, and ill thought on of you, gone between and between, but small thanks for my labor.
What art thou angry, Pandarus? What with me?
She's a fool to stay behind my brother, that traitor Calchas. Let her to the Greeks after him, and so I'll tell her the next time I see her. For my part, I'll meddle nor make no more in the matter.
Pandarus?
Not I.
Sweet Pandarus.
Pray you, speak no more to me. I will leave all as I found it and dare an end.
Peace, you ungracious clamors, peace, rude sounds. Fools on both sides, Helen must needs be fair, when with your blood you daily paint her thus. I cannot fight upon this argument. It is too starved a subject for my sword. But, Pandarus, gods, how do you plague me? I cannot come to Cressida but by Pandar, and he's as tetchy to be wooed to woo as she is stubborn, chaste against all suit.
How now, Prince Troilus? Wherefore not afield?
Because not there. This woman's answer sorts, for womanish it is to be from thence. What news, Aeneas, from the field today?
That Paris is returned home and hurt.
By whom, Aeneas?
Troilus. By Menelaus.
Let Paris bleed. It's but a scar to scorn. Paris is gored with Menelaus' horn.
Hark, what good sport is out of town today?
Better at home. If what I might were may, but to the sport abroad, are you bound thither?
In all swift haste.
Come go we then together.
Who were those went by?
Queen Hecuba and Helen.
And whither go they?
Up to the Eastern Tower.
To see the battle. Hector, whose patience is a virtue fixed, today was moved. He chid Andromache and struck his armorer. And like their husbandry in war, before the sun rose, he was harnessed light, and to the field goes he, where every flower did as a prophet weep, what it foresaw in Hector's wrath.
What was his cause of anger?
Noise goes this. There is among the Greeks a lord of Troy and blood, cousin to Hector. They call him Ajax.
Good, and what of him?
They say he's a very man per se and stands alone.
So do all men, unless they are drunk, sick, or have no legs.
This man, lady, has robbed many beasts of their particular edition. He's as valiant as the lion, churlish as the bear, slow as the elephant. A man unto whom nature hath so crowded humors that his valor is crushed into folly, as folly sauced with discretion. There is no man hath a virtue that he hath not a glimpse of, nor any man a fault but he carries some stain of it. He's melancholy without cause, and merry against the hair.
But how should this man that causes me to smile make Hector angry?
They say yesterday he coped Hector in the battle and struck him down. The disdain and shame whereof hath ever since kept Hector fasting and waking.
Who comes here?
Madame, your Uncle Pandarus.
Hector's a gallant man.
As maybe in the world, Lee.
What's that? What's that?
Good morrow, Uncle Pandarus.
Good morrow, Cousin Cressida. What do you talk of? Good morrow, Alexander.
Good morrow, good Lord Pandarus.
How do you, cousin? When were you at Ilion?
This morning, Uncle.
Was Hector armed and gone ere you came to Ilion? Helen was not up, was she?
Hector was gone, but Helen was not up.
It's true. Hector was stirring early.
That we were talking of, and of his anger.
True, he was angry. I know the cause, too. He'll lay about him today. I can tell them that. And there's Troilus. Will not come far behind him. Let them take heed of Troilus. I can tell them that, too.
What? Is he angry too?
Who, Troilus? Troilus is the better man of the two.
Jupiter, there's no comparison.
What, not between Troilus and Hector? Do you know a man if you see him?
Aye, if ever I saw him before and knew him.
Well, I say Troilus is Troilus.
Then you say as I say, for I am sure he is not Hector.
No, nor Hector is not Troilus in some degrees.
'Tis just to each he is himself.
Himself. Alas, poor Troilus, I would he were.
He is not Hector.
Himself? No, he's not himself. Would he were himself? Well, the gods are above. Time must friend or end. Well, Troilus, well, I would my heart were in her body. No, Hector was not a better man than Troilus.
Excuse me?
He is elder.
Pardon me, pardon me.
Troilus has not come to it. You shall tell me another tale when he has come to it. Hector shall not have his wit this year.
He shall not need it if he have his own.
Nor his qualities.
No matter.
Nor his beauty.
'Twould not become him his own's better.
You have no judgment, niece. Helen herself swore the other day that Troilus, she praised his complexion above Paris.
I had as lief Helen's golden tongue had commended Troilus for a copper nose.
I swear to you, I think Helen loves him better than Paris.
Then she's a merry Greek indeed.
Nay, I am sure she does. She came to him the other day into the cubbiest window, and you know he has not passed 3 or 4 hairs on his chin.
Indeed, a tapster's arithmetic may sooner bring his particulars therein to a total.
Why, he is very young, and yet will he, within 3 pound, lift as much as his brother Hector.
Is he so young a man and so old a lifter?
But to prove to you that Helen loves him, she came and puts me her white hand to his cloven chin.
Juno, have mercy, how came it cloven?
Why, you know 'tis dimpled. I think his smiling becomes him better than any man in all these Phrygian lands.
Oh, he smiles valiantly.
Does he not?
Oh, yes, and 'twere a cloud in autumn.
Why, go to then. But to prove to you that Helen loves Troilus.
Troilus will stand to the proof if you'll prove it so.
Troilus, why, he esteems her no more than I esteem an addle egg.
If you love an addle egg as well as you love an idle head, you would eat chickens in the shell.
I cannot choose but laugh to think how she tickled his chin. Indeed, she has a marvelous sweet hand, I must needs confess.
Without the rack.
And she takes upon her to spy a white hair on his chin.
Alas, poor chin many a wart is richer.
But there was such laughing. Queen Hecuba laughed that her eyes ran over.
With millstones.
And Cassandra laughed.
Did her eyes run over too?
And Hector laughed.
And what was all this laughing?
Mary at the white hair that Helen spied on Troilus' chin.
And had it been a green hair, I should have laughed too.
They laughed not so much at the hair as at his pretty answer.
What was his answer?
Quoth she, here's but 52 hairs, and one of them is white.
This is her question.
That's true. Make no question of that. 52 hairs, quoth he, and one white. That white hair is my father, and all the rest are his sons. Jupiter, quoth she, which of these hairs is Paris, my husband? The forked one, quoth he. Pluck it out and give it him. But there was such laughing, and Helen so blushed, and Paris so chafed, and all the rest so laughed that it passed.
So let it now, for it has been a great while going by.
Well, cousin, I told you a thing yesterday. Think on't.
So I do.
I'll be sworn 'tis true. He will weep you, and 'twere a man born in April.
And I'll spring up in his tears, and 'twere a nettle against May.
Hark! They're coming to the field. Shall we stand up here and see them as they pass toward Eileen? Good niece do, sweet niece Cressida.
At your pleasure.
Here's an excellent place. Here we may see most bravely. I'll tell you them all by their names as they pass by, but mark Troilus above the rest.
Speak not so loud.
That's Aeneas. He's not a brave man. He's one of the flowers of Troy, I can tell you. When comes Troilus? I'll show you Troilus anon.
Who's that?
That's Antenor. He has a shrewd wit, I can tell you, and he's a man good enough. He's one of the soundest judgments in Troy whosoever, and a proper man of person. When comes Troilus? I'll show you Troilus anon. If he see me, you shall see him nod at me.
Will he give you the nod?
You shall see.
If he do, the rich shall have more.
Oh, that's Hector. Look you. There's a fellow. Go thy way, Hector. There's a brave man, niece. Oh, brave Hector. Look how he looks. There's a countenance. It's not a brave man.
Oh, a brave man.
Is he not? It does a man's heart good. Look you, what hacks are on his helmet. Look you yonder, do you see? Look you there? Oh, there's no jesting. Laying on, taked off. Who will, as they say, there be hacks.
Be those with swords.
Swords, anything, he cares not, and the devil come to him. It's all one. My God's lit, it does one's heart good. Yonder comes Paris. Look ye yonder, niece, is not a gallant man too, is not? Oh, why, this is brave. Now, who said he came hurt home today? He's not hurt. Why, this will do Helen's heart good now, huh? I can see Troilus now. You shall see Troilus anon.
Who's that?
That's Helenus. I marvel where Troilus is. That's Helenus. I think he went not forth today. That's Helenus.
Can Helenus fight, Uncle?
Helenus, no, yes, he'll fight indifferent. Well, I marvel where Troilus is. Hark, you do not hear the people cry. Troilus! Helenus is a priest.
What sneaking fellow comes yonder?
Where? Yonder? Let me see. 'Tis Troilus! There's a man, peace! Brave Troilus, the prince of chivalry!
Peace, for shame, peace!
Mark him! Note him! Oh, brave Troilus! Look you well upon him, niece! Look you how his sword is bloodied and his helm more hacked than Hector's, and how he looks and how he goes! Oh, admirable youth! He ne'er saw 3 and 20. Go thy way, Troilus, go thy way. Had I a daughter or a grace or a sister, a goddess, he should take his choice. Oh, admirable man.
Here come more.
Asses, fools, dolts, chaffin bran, porridge after meat. I could live and die in the eyes of Troilus. There, look, the eagles are gone, crows and daws. I'd rather be such a man as Troilus than Agamemnon and all Greece.
There is among the Greeks Achilles, a better man than Troilus.
Achilles, a brave man, a porter, a very camel.
Well.
Oh, well. Why, have you any discretion? Have you any eyes? Do you know what a man is? Is not birth, beauty, good shape, discourse, manhood, learning, gentleness, virtue, youth, liberality, and so forth, the spice and salt that seasons a man.
Aye, a minced man.
You are such enough a woman. One knows not at what ward you lie.
Upon my back to defend my belly, upon my wit to defend my wiles, upon my secrecy to defend mine honesty, my mask to defend my beauty, and you to defend all these. And at all these wards I lie at 1,000 watches.
You are such an huffer.
Sir, Lord Troilus would endlessly speak with you.
Where?
At your own house. We got arms him.
Good Alexander, tell him I come. I doubt he be hurt. Fare ye well, good niece.
Adieu, Uncle.
I'll be with you, niece, by and by.
To bring, Uncle.
I a token from Troilus.
By this same token, you are a bawd. Words, vows, gifts, tears, and love's full sacrifice he offers in another's enterprise. But more in Troilus, 1,000-fold I see, than in the glass of Pandar's praise may be. yet hold I off. Women are angels wooing. Things won are done. Joy soul lies in the doing. That she, beloved, knows not that knows not this. Men prize the thing ungained more than it is. That she was never yet that ever knew love got so sweet as when desire did sue. Therefore this maxim out of love I teach. Achievement is command, ungained beseech. That though my heart's contents from love doth bear, nothing of that shall from mine eyes appear.
Princes! What grief hath set the jaundice on your cheeks? The ample proposition that hope makes in all designs, begun on earth below, fails in the promised largeness. Checks and disasters grow in the veins of actions highest reared. As knots, by the conflux of meeting sap, infects the sound pine and diverts his grain toward an errant from his course of growth. Nor, princes, is it matter new to us, that after 7 years' siege, yet Troy walls stand. Sith every action that hath come before whereof we have record, trial did draw, bias, and thwart. Why then, you princes, do you with cheeks abashed behold our works and think them shames, which are indeed not else but the protractive trials of great Jove to find persistive constancy in men? The fineness of which metal is not found in fortune's love, for then the bold and coward, the wise and fool, the artist and unread, the hard and soft seem all affined and kin. But in the wind and tempest of her frown, distinction, with a loud and powerful fan, puffing at all, winnows the light away. And what hath mass, or matter by itself, lies rich in virtue and unmingled.
With the due observance of thy godlike seat, great Agamemnon, Nestor shall apply thy latest words. In the reproof of chance lies the true proof in men. The sea being smooth, how many shallow bobbled boats dare sail upon her patient breast, making their way with those of nobler bulk? But let the ruffian Boreas once enrage the gentle Thetis, and anon behold the strong-ribbed bark through liquid mountains cut, bounding between the two moist elements like Perseus' horse. Where's then the saucy boat, whose weak, untimbered sides, but even now co-rivaled greatness? Either to harbor fled, or made a toast for Neptune. Even so doth valor show, and valor's worth divide in storms of fortune.
Agamemnon, thou great commander, nerve and bone of Greece, heart of our numbers, soul and only spirit in whom the tempers and the minds of all should be shut up. Hear what Ulysses speaks, besides the applause and approbation, the which most mighty for thy place and sway, and thou most reverend for thy stretched out life, I give to both your speeches, which were such as Agamemnon in the hand of Greece should hold up high in brass, and such again as venerable Nestor, hatched in silver, should with a bond of air, strong as the axle-tree on which the heavens ride, knit all Greeks' ears to his experienced tongue. Yet let it please both, thou great and wise, to hear Ulysses speak.
Speak, Prince of Ithaca, and be it of less expect that matter needless of importless burden divide thy lips. Then we are confident when rank Thersites opes his mastic jaws, we shall hear music, wit, and oracle.
Troy yet upon his basis had been down, and the great Hector's sword had lacked a master, but for these instances. The specialty of rule hath been neglected.
And look how many Grecian tents do stand hollow upon this plain, so many hollow factions. When that the general is not like the hive to whom the foragers shall all repair, what honey is expected? Degree being vizarded, the unworthiest shows as fairly in the mask. The heavens themselves, the planets, and this center observe degree, priority, and place, insisture, course, proportion, season, form, office, and custom in all line of order. And therefore is the glorious planet soul in noble eminence enthroned and sphered amidst the other, whose medicinable eye corrects the ill aspects of planets' evil. But when the stars and heavens in wicked mixture to disorder wander, what plagues, what portents, what mutiny, what raging of the sea, shaking of the earth, commotion in the winds, frights, changes, horrors, divert and crack, rend and deracinate the unity and married calm of states quite from their fixture. Oh, when degree is shaked, which is the ladder to all high designs, the enterprise is sick. How could communities, degrees in schools, and brotherhoods in cities, peaceful commerce from dividable shores, the primogenitive and due of birth, prerogative of age, crowns, scepters, laurels, but by degree stand in authentic place? Take but degree away. Untune that string, and hark what discord follows. Each thing meets in mere repugnancy. The bounded waters should lift their bosoms higher than the shores and make a sop of all this solid globe. Strength should be the lord of imbecility, and the rude son should strike his father dead. Force should be right, or rather right and wrong, between whose endless jar justice resides, should lose their names. And so should justice too. Then everything includes itself in power, power into will, will into appetite, and appetite and universal wolf, so doubly seconded with will and power, must make perforce and universal prey, and last eat up himself. Great Agamemnon, this chaos, when degree is suffocate, follows the choking. The generals disdained by him one step below, he by the next, that next by him beneath, and so every step, exampled by the first pace that is sick of his superior, grows to an envious fever of pale and bloodless emulation. And 'tis this fever that keeps Troy on foot, not her own sinews. To end a tale of length, Troy in our weakness stands, not in her strength.
Most wisely hath Ulysses here discovered the fever, whereof all our power is sick.
The nature of the sickness found, Ulysses. What is the remedy?
The great Achilles, whom opinion crowns, the sinew and the forehand of our host, having his ear full of his airy fame, grows dainty of his worth, and in his tent lies mocking our designs. With him Patroclus, upon a lazy bed the livelong day, breaks scurril jests, and with ridiculous and awkward action, which slanderer he imitation calls, he pageants us. Sometime, great Agamemnon, thy topless deputation he puts on. And like a strutting player whose conceit lies in his hamstring, and doth think it rich to hear the wooden dialogue and sound twixt his stretch footing in the scaffoldage, he acts thy greatness in. And when he speaks, 'tis like a chime amending with terms unsquared, which from the tongue of roaring Typhon dropped would seem hyperboles. At this fusty stuff, the large Achilles on his pressed bed lolling, laughs out a loud applause, cries, "Excellent, 'tis Agamemnon just. Now play me Nestor, hem, and stroke thy beard, as he being dressed to some oration." That's done as near as the extremest ends of parallels, as like as Vulcan and his wife. Yet God Achilles cries, "Enough, Patroclus, or give me ribs of steel. I shall split all in pleasure of my spleen." And in this fashion,
all our abilities, gifts, natures, shapes, achievements, plots, orders, preventions, success or loss, what is or is not, serves as stuff for these two to make paradoxes.
And in the imitation of these twain who, as Ulysses says, opinion crowns with an imperial voice, many are in fact. Ajax is grown self-willed, and bears his head in such a rein, in full as proud a place as broad Achilles, and keeps his tent like him, makes factious feasts, rails in our state of war, bold as an oracle, and sets Thersites, a knave who gall-coin slanders like a mint, to match us in comparison with dirt.
They tax our policy and call it cowardice, count wisdom as no member of the war, forestall praise science and esteem no act but that of hand. The still and mental parts that do contrive how many hands shall strike when fitness calls them on, and know by measure of their observant toil the enemy's weight, why this hath not a finger's dignity. They call this bedwork, mappery, closet war, so that the ram that batters down the wall they place before his hand that made the engine.
Let this be granted, and Achilles' horse makes many Thetis sons.
What trumpet? Look, Menelaus.
From Troy.
What would you for our tent? Is this great Agamemnon's tent, I pray you? Even this? May one that is a herald and a prince do a fair message to his kingly ears? With surety stronger than Achilles' arm, for all the Greekish heads which with one voice call Agamemnon head and general. Fair leave and large security. How may a stranger to those most imperial looks know them from eyes of other mortals? How? I ask that I might wake in reverence and bid the cheek be ready with a blush, modest as morning when she coldly eyes the youthful Phoebus. Which is that god in office guiding men? Which is the high and mighty Agamemnon? This Troyan scorns us, or the men of Troy are ceremonious courtiers. Courtiers? As free, as debonair, unarmed, as bending angels. That's their fame in peace. But when they would seem soldiers, they have galls, good arms, strong joints, true swords, and Jove's accord. Nothing so full of heart. But peace, Aeneas, peace, Troyan, lay thy finger on thy lips. The worthiness of praise disdains his worth, that the praised himself bring the praise forth. But what the repining enemy commends, that breath fame blows, that praise soul pure transcends. Sir, you of Troy, call you yourself Aeneas? I, Greek, that is my name. What's your affair, I pray you? Sir, pardon, 'tis for Agamemnon's ears. He hears not privately that comes from Troy. Nor I from Troy come not to whisper him. I bring a trumpet to awake his ear, to set his sense on the attentive bent, and then to speak. Speak as frankly as the wind. It is not Agamemnon's sleeping hour. That thou shalt know, Troyan, he is awake. He tells thee so himself. Trumpet, blow loud. Send thy brass voice through all these lazy tents, and every Greek of mettle let him know. What Troy means fairly shall be spoke aloud. We have great Agamemnon. Here in Troy, a prince called Hector. Priam is his father, who in this dull and long-continued war is resty grown. He bade me take a trumpet, and to this purpose speak. Kings, princes, lords, if there be one amongst the fairest of Greece that holds his honor higher than his ease, that seeks his praise more than he fears his peril, that knows his valor and knows not his fear, that loves his mistress more than in confession with truant vows to her own lips he loves, and dare avow her beauty and her worth in other arms than hers. To him this challenge. Hector, in view of Trojans and of Greeks, shall make it good, or do his best to do it. He hath a lady, wiser, fairer, truer than ever Greek did compass in his arms. And will tomorrow with his trumpet call, midway between your tents and walls of Troy, to rouse a Grecian that is true in love. If any come, Hector shall honor him. If none, he'll say in Troy when he retires, the Grecian dames are sunburnt and not worth the splinter of a lance. Even so much.
This shall be told our lovers, Lord Aeneas. If none of them have soul in such a kind, we left them all at home. But we are soldiers, and may that soldier a mere recreant prove that means not, hath not, or is not in love. For then if one is, or hath, or means to be, that one meets Hector. If none else, all be he.
Tell him of Nestor, one that was a man when Hector's grandsire sucked. He is old now, but if there be not in our Grecian mold one noble man that hath one spark of fire to answer for his love, tell him from me. I'll hide my silver beard in a gold beaver, and in my vant brace put this withered brawn, and meeting him will tell him that my lady was fairer than his grandam, and as chaste as may be in the world. His youth in flood, I'll prove this truth with my 3 drops of blood.
Now heavens forbid such scarcity of youth.
Amen.
Fair Lord Aeneas, let me touch your hand. To our pavilion shall I lead you first. Achilles shall have word of this intent, so shall each lord of Greece from tent to tent. Yourself shall feast with us before you go, and find the welcome of a noble foe.
Nestor,
What says Ulysses?
I have a young conception in my brain. Be you my time to bring it to some shape.
What is it?
This 'tis, the seeded pride that hath to this maturity blown up in rank Achilles must or now be cropped, or shedding breed a nursery of like evil to overbulk us all.
Well, and how?
This challenge that the gallant Hector sends, however it is spread in general name, relates in purpose only to Achilles.
The purpose is perspicuous, even as substance whose grossness little characters sum up. And in the publication, make no strain but that Achilles, were his brain as barren as banks of Libya, though Apollo knows 'tis dry enough, will with great speed of judgment, aye, with celerity, find Hector's purpose pointing on him.
And wake him to the answer, think you?
Well, yes, 'tis most meet. Who may you else suppose that can from Hector bring his honor off, if not Achilles? Though be a sportful combat, yet in this trial much opinion dwells, for here the Trojans taste our dearest repute with their finest palate.
Give pardon to my speech. Therefore 'tis meet Achilles meet, not Hector. Let us, like merchants, show our foulest wares, and think perchance they'll sell. If not, the luster of the better shall exceed by showing the worse first. Do not consent that ever Hector and Achilles meet, for both our honor and our shame in this are dogged with 2 strange followers.
I see them not with my old eyes. What are they?
What glory our Achilles shares from Hector, were he not proud, we all should share with him. But he already is too insolent, and we were better parch in burnished sun than in the pride and salt scorn of his eye should he scape Hector fair. If he should fail, why then we did our main opinion crush in taint of our best man. No. Make a lottery, and by device let blockish Ajax draw the sword to fight with Hector. Among ourselves, give him allowance as the worthier man, for that will physic the great Myrmidon who broils in his tent in loud applause. If the dull, brainless Ajax come safe off, we'll dress him up in voices. If he fail, yet go we under our opinion still that we have better men. Yet, hit or miss, our project's life this shape of sense assumes. Ajax employed plucks down Achilles' plumes.
Now, Ulysses, I begin to relish thy advice, and I will give a taste of it forthwith to Agamemnon. Go we to him straight. Two curs shall tame each other. Pride alone must spur the mastiffs on, as 'twere their bone.
Thersites!
Agamemnon, how if he had boils full all over generally?
Thersites!
And those boils did run, say so. Did not the general run? Were not that a botchy corps?
Dog!
Then there would come some matter from him. I see none now.
Thou bitch wolf son, canst thou not hear? Feel then!
A plague of grease upon thee, thou mongrel beef-witted lord!
Speak then, I will beat thee into handsomeness.
I shall sooner rail thee into wit and holiness, but I think thy horse will sooner con an oration than thou learn a prayer without book. Thou canst strike, canst thou?
Toadstool, learn me the proclamation!
Thou art proclaimed a fool, I think.
Do not porcupine, do not, my fingers itch.
I would thou didst itch from head to foot, and I the scratching of thee. I would make thee the loathsomest scab in Greece.
I say the proclamation!
Thou grumblest and railst every hour on Achilles, and thou art as full of envy at his greatness as Cerberus is at Persephone's beauty. Aye, that thou barkst at him.
Mistress Thersites!
Thou shouldst strike him.
Cobloaf!
He would pun thee into shivers with his fist as a sailor breaks a biscuit.
You horse and cur! No!
I do, thou sudden-witted lord. Thou hast no more brain than I have in mine elbows. Thou scurvy valiant ass, if thou beat me, I'll begin at thy heel and tell what thou art by inches, thou thing of no bowels, thou.
You dog!
You scurvy lord.
You cur!
Marsus, idiot! Do rudeness! Do camel! Do!
Why, how now, Ajax? How now, Thersites? What's the matter, man?
You see him there, my lord Achilles, do you?
Aye, what's the matter?
Nay, but look upon him.
So I do. What's the matter?
Nay, but regard him well.
So I do. What's the matter?
And yet you look not well upon him, for whosoever you take him to be, he is Ajax.
I know that fool.
Aye, but that fool knows not himself.
Therefore I beat thee!
Loo, what modicums of wit he utters! His evasions have ears thus long. I have bobbed his brain more than he has beat my bones, this Lord Ajax, who wears his wit in his belly and his guts in his head. I'll tell you what I say of him.
What?
I say this Ajax.
Nay, good Ajax.
Has not so much a wit.
Nay, I must hold you.
As will stop the eye of Helen's needle, for whom he comes to fight.
Peace, fool.
I would have peace and quietness, but the fool will not.
Oh, thou damned cur, I shall...
Will you set your wit to a fool's?
No, I warrant you, for a fool's will shame it.
Good words, Thersites. 'Tis so, Patroclus. Ajax, what's the quarrel?
I bade the vile owl go learn me the tenor of the proclamation, and he rails upon me.
I serve thee not.
Well, go to.
I serve here voluntary.
Your last service was sufferance. 'Twas not voluntary. No man is beaten voluntary. Ajax here was the voluntary, and you as under an impress.
Even so, a great deal of your wit too lies in your sinews, or else there be liars. Hector shall have a great catch if he knock out either of your brains. You are as good crack a fusty nut with no kernel.
What, with me too, Thersites?
For Ulysses and old Nestor, whose wit was moldy ere your grandsires had nails on their toes, yoke you like draft oxen and make you plow up the war.
I shall cut out your tongue.
'Tis no matter, I shall speak as much as thou afterwards.
No more words, Thersites.
I shall hold my peace when Achilles' brack bids me, shall I?
Ooh, there's for you, Patroclus.
I I will see you hanged like clodpoles ere I come any more to your tents. I will keep where there is wit stirring and leave the faction of fools.
A good riddance. Marry this, sir, is proclaimed through all our host, that Hector, by the 5th hour of the sun, will with a trumpet twixt our tents in Troy, tomorrow morning call some knight to arms that hath a stomach, and such a one that dare maintain, I know not what, 'tis trash. Farewell.
Farewell? Who shall answer him?
I know not, 'tis put to lottery. Otherwise, he knew his man.
Oh, meaning you? I will go learn more of it.
After so many hours, lives, speeches spent thus once again, says Nestor from the Greeks, deliver Helen and all damagelses, honor, loss of time, travail, expense, wounds, friends, and what else dear that is consumed in hot digestion of this cormorant war, shall be struck off. Hector, what say you to it?
Though no man lesser fears the Greeks than I, as far as touches my particular, yet, dread Priam, let Helen go. Since the first sword was drawn about this question, every tithe soul amongst many thousand dimes hath been as dear as Helen. I mean of ours. If we have lost so many tenths of ours to guard a thing not ours, nor worth to us had it our name, the value of 1/10, what merit in that reason which denies the yielding of her up?
Fie, fie, my brother, weigh you the worth and honor of a king so great as our dread father in a scale of common ounces? Will you with counters sum the past proportion of his infinite, and buckle in a waist most fathomless with spans and inches so diminutive as fears and reasons? Fie, for godly shame!
No marvel, though you bite so sharp at reasons, you are so empty of them. Should not our father bear the great sway of his affairs with reasons? Because your speech hath none that tell him so.
You are for dreams and slumbers, Helenus. You fur your gloves with reason. Here are your reasons. You know an enemy intends you harm. You know a sword employed is perilous, and reason flies the object of all harm. Who marvels then when brother priest beholds a Grecian and his sword, if he do set the very wings of reason to his heels, and fly like chidden Mercury from Jove, or like a star desorbed? Nay, if we talk of reason, let's shut our gates and sleep. Reason and respect makes livers pale and lustihood deject.
Brother, she is not worth what she doth cost the keeping.
What's aught but as 'tis valued?
But value dwells not in particular will. It holds his estimate and dignity as well, wherein 'tis precious of itself, as in the prizer. 'Tis mad idolatry to make the service greater than the god.
I take today a wife, and my election is led on in the conduct of my will enkindled by mine eyes and ears, two traded pilots twixt the dangerous shores of will and judgment. How may I avoid? Although my will distaste what it elected, the wife I choose, there can be no evasion to blench from this, but to stand firm by honor. We turn not back the silks upon the merchant when we have soiled them, nor the remainder portions we do not throw in unrespective sieve, because we now are full. It was thought meet Paris should do some vengeance on the Greeks. Your breath with full consent bellied his sails. The seas and wind, old wranglers, took a truce and did him service. He touched the port desired, and for an old aunt whom the Greeks held captive, he brought a Grecian queen, whose youth and freshness wrinkles Apollo's, and makes stale the morning. Why keep we her? The Grecians keep our aunt. Is she worth keeping? Why, she is a pearl, whose price hath launched above 1,000 ships. If you'll avouch, 'twas wisdom Paris went, as you must needs, for you all cried, Go, go. If you'll confess, he brought home noble prize, as you must needs, for you all clapped your hands and cried, Inestimable. Why do you now the issue of your proper wisdom's rate, and do a deed that fortune never did, beggar the estimation which you prized richer than sea and land? O theft most base, that we have stolen what we do fear to keep.
Cry, Trojans, cry.
What noise, what shriek is this?
'Tis our mad sister, I do know her voice.
Cry, Trojans.
It is Cassandra.
Cry, Trojans, cry. Lend me 10,000 eyes, and I will fill them with prophetic tears.
Peace, sister, peace.
Virgins and boys, mid-age and wrinkled old, soft infancy, that nothing can but cry, add to my clamor. Let us pay betimes a moiety of that mass of moan to come. Cry, Trojans, cry, practice your eyes with tears. Troy must not be, nor goodly Ilion stand. Our firebrand brother Paris burns us all. Cry, Trojans, cry, a Helen and a woe. Cry, cry, Troy burns, or else let Helen go.
Now, youthful Troilus, do not these high strains of divination in our sister work some touches of remorse? Or is your blood so madly hot that no discourse of reason nor fear of a bad success in a bad cause can qualify the same?
Why, brother Hector, we may not think the justness of each act, such no other than the vent doth form it, nor once deject the courage of our minds because Cassandra's mad. For my private part, I am no more touched than all Priam's sons, and Jove forbid there should be done amongst us such things as might offend the weakest spleen to fight for and maintain.
Else might the world convince of levity, as well my undertakings as your counsels. But I attest the gods your full consent gave wings to my propension and cut off all fears attending on so dire a project. For what, alas, can these my single arms? Yet I protest, were I alone to pass the difficulties and had as ample power as I have will, Paris should ne'er retract what he hath done, nor faint in the pursuit.
Paris, you speak like one besotted on your sweet delights. You have the honey still, but these the gall. So to be valiant is no praise at all.
Sir, I propose not merely to myself the pleasure such a beauty brings with it, but I would have the soil if her escape wiped off in honorable keeping her. What treason were it to the ransacked queen, disgrace to your great worths, and shame to me, now to deliver her possession up on terms of base compulsion? Can it be that so degenerate a strain as this should once set footing in your generous bosoms? There's not the meanest spirit in our party without a heart to dare or sword to draw where Helen is defended, nor none so noble whose life were ill bestowed or death unfamed where Helen is the subject. Then I say, well may we fight for her, whom we know well the world's large spaces cannot parallel.
Paris and Troilus, you have both said well, and on the cause in question now in hand have glossed. But superficially, not much unlike young men, whom Aristotle thought unfit to hear moral philosophy. The reasons you allege do more conduce to the hot passion of distempered blood than to make up a free determination twixt right and wrong. Nature craves all dues be rendered to their owners. Now what nearer debt in all humanity than wife is to the husband? If this law of nature be corrupted through affection, there is a law in each well-ordered nation to curb those raging appetites that are most disobedient and refractory. If Helen then be wife to Menelaus, as it is known she is, these moral laws of nature and of nation speak aloud to have her back returned. Thus to persist in doing wrong extenuates not wrong, but makes it much more heavy. Hector's opinion is this in way of truth. Yet, nevertheless, my sprightly brethren, I propend to you, in resolution to keep Helen still. Yes. For 'tis a cause that hath no mean dependence upon our joint and several dignities.
Why, there you touched the life of our design. Were it not glory that we more affected than the performance of our heaving spleens, I would not wish a drop of Trojan blood spent more in her defense. But worthy Hector, she is a theme of honor and renown, a spur to valiant and magnanimous deeds whose present courage may beat down our foes, and fame in time to come canonize us.
I am yours, you valiant offspring of great Priamus. I have a roisting challenge. Sent amongst the dull and factious nobles of the Greeks, will strike amazement to their drowsy spirits. I was advertised. Great Achilles slept, whilst emulation in the army crept. This, I presume, will wake him.
How now, Thersites? What, lost in the labyrinth of thy fury? Shall the elephant Ajax carry it thus? Blood, I'll learn to conjure and raise devils, but I'll see some issue of my spiteful execrations. Then there's Achilles, a rare engineer. If Troy be not taken till these two undermine it, the walls will hold till they fall of themselves. The vengeance on the whole camp. Or rather, the Neapolitan boneache. For that, methinks, is the curse dependent on those that war for a placket. I've said my prayers in devil envy. Say amen. What ho, my lord Achilles?
Who's there? Ah, Thersites! Good Thersites, come in and rail.
Oh, if I could have remembered a gilt counterfeit, thou wouldst not have slipped out of my contemplation. Ah, but 'tis no matter. The common curse of mankind falling in ignorance be that in greater venue. Heaven bless thee from a tutor and discipline. Come not near thee. Amen. Where's Achilles?
Who's there? 'Tis the knave Thersites, my lord. What art thou come? Why my cheese, my digestion? Why hast thou not served thyself into my table so many meals? Come, what's Agamemnon?
Thy commander, Achilles. Then tell me, Patroclus, what's Achilles?
Thy lord, Thersites. Then tell me, I pray thee, what's thyself?
Thy knower, Patroclus. Then tell me, Patroclus, what art thou?
Thou mayst tell that knows. Oh, tell.
I'll reveal the whole question. Agamemnon commands Achilles. Achilles is my lord. I am Patroclus' knower, and Patroclus is a fool.
You rascal!
The peace fool. I'm not done.
He is a privileged man. Proceed, Thersites.
Agamemnon is a fool. Achilles is a fool. Thersites is a fool. And, as aforesaid, Patroclus is a fool.
Derive this come?
Agamemnon is a fool to offer to command Achilles. Achilles is a fool to be commanded of Agamemnon. Thersites is a fool to serve such a fool. And Patroclus is a fool positive.
Why am I a fool?
Make that demand to the Creator. It suffices me thou art. Oh, look you, who comes here?
Ugh, Patroclus, I'll speak with no one. Come in with me, Thersites.
Patroclus, here such patchery, such juggling, and such knavery. All the arguments a horn, a cuckold, a good quarrel to draw emulous factions and bleed to death upon. Now war and lechery confound all.
Where is Achilles? Within his tent, but ill-disposed, my lord.
Let it be known to him that we are here. He shunned our messengers, and we lay by our appertainments, visiting of him. Let him be told so, lest perchance he think we dare not move the question of our place, or know not what we are.
I shall so say to him.
We saw him at the opening of his tent. He is not sick.
Yes, lion sick. Sick of proud heart. You may call it melancholy if you will favor the man, but by my head, 'tis pride. Why? Why let him show us the cause? A word, my lord.
What moves Ajax thus to bay at him?
Achilles hath inveigled his fool from him.
Who, Thersites?
He.
All the better. Their fraction is more our wish than their faction. But it was a strong counsel that a fool could disunite.
The amity that wisdom knits not, folly may easily untie. Here comes Patroclus.
No Achilles with him?
Achilles bids me say he is much sorry. If anything more than your sport and pleasure did move your greatness and this noble state to call upon him, he hopes it is no other but for your health and your digestion's sake, and after dinner's breath.
Hear you, Patroclus. We are too well acquainted with these answers. But his evasion, winged thus swift with scorn, cannot outfly our apprehensions.
Much attribute he hath, and much the reason why we ascribe it to him. Yet all his virtues, not virtuously on his own part beheld, do in our eyes begin to lose their gloss. Yea, and like fair fruit in an unwholesome dish are like to rot untasted. Go and tell him we come to speak with him, and you shall not sin if you do say we think him over-proud and under-honest, in self-assumption greater than in the note of judgment, and worthier than himself here tends the savage strangeness he puts on. Go tell him this, and add that if he overhold his price so much, we'll none of him. Stirring dwarf we do allowance give before a sleeping giant. Tell him so.
I shall, and bring his answer presently.
In second voice will not be satisfied. We come to speak with him. Ulysses, enter you.
What is he more than another?
No more than what he thinks he is.
Is he so much? Do you not think he thinks himself a better man than I am?
No question.
Will you subscribe his thought and say he is?
No, noble Ajax, you are as strong, as valiant, as wise, no less noble, much more gentle, and altogether more tractable.
Why should a man be proud? How doth pride grow? I know not what pride is.
Your mind is the clearer, Ajax, and your virtues the fairer. He that is proud eats up himself. Pride is his own glass, his own trumpet, his own chronicle, and whatever praises itself but in a deed devours the deed in the praise.
I do hate a proud man, as I hate the engendering of toads.
Yet he loves himself. Is it not strange? Achilles will not to the field tomorrow.
What's his excuse?
He doth rely on none.
Why will he not upon our fair request untent his person and share the air with us?
Things small as nothing, for request's sake only he makes important. Possessed he is with greatness, and speaks not to himself but with a pride that quarrels at self-breath. What should I say? He is so plaguy proud that the death tokens of it cry no recovery.
Let Ajax go to him. Dear lord, go you and greet him in his tent. 'Tis said he holds you well, and will be led at your request a little from himself.
Oh, Agamemnon, let it not be so. We'll consecrate the steps that Ajax makes when they go from Achilles. Shall the proud lord that base his arrogance with his own seam and never suffers matter of the world enter his thoughts, save such as do revolve and ruminate himself, shall he be worshipped of that we hold an idol more than he? No, this thrice worthy and right valiant lord must not so stale his palm, nobly acquired, nor by my will subjugate his merit, as amply titled as Achilles is, by going to Achilles. That were to enlard his fat already pride, and add more coals to cancer, where he burns with entertaining great Hyperion. This lord go to him? Jupiter forbid, and say in thunder, Achilles, go to him.
Oh, this is well, he rubs the vein of him.
If I go to him with my armed fist, I'll pass him o'er the face.
Oh, no, you shall not go.
And he be proud with me, I'll fease his pride. Let me go to him.
Not for the worth that hangs upon our quarrel.
A paltry, insolent fellow.
How he describes himself.
And all men were of my mind.
Wit would be out of fashion.
He should not bear it so. He should eat swords first. Shall pride carry it?
And would you carry half?
I will need him. I'll make him supple.
He is not yet through warm. Force him with praises. Pour in, pour in. His ambition is dry.
My lord, you feed too much on this dislike.
Our noble general, do not do so. You must prepare to fight without Achilles.
Why, 'tis this naming of him doth him harm. Here's a man, but 'tis before his face I will be silent.
Wherefore should you so? He is not emulous as Achilles is.
Know the whole world, he is as valiant.
A horse and dog that shall palter thus with us. Would he were a Trojan.
What a vice were it in Ajax now?
If he were proud.
Or covetous of praise.
Aye, or surly born.
Or strange or self-affected.
Thank the heavens, Lord, thou art of sweet composure. Praise him that got thee, she that gave thee suck. Fame be thy tutor, and thy parts of nature thrice famed beyond all erudition.
But he that disciplined thy arms to fight, let Mars divide eternity in twain and give him half. I will not praise thy wisdom, which, like a bourne, a pale, a shore, confines thy spacious and dilated parts. Here's Nestor, instructed by the antiquary times. He must, he is, he cannot but be wise. But, pardon Father Nestor, were your days as green as Ajax, and your mind so tempered, you should not have the eminence of him, but be as Ajax.
Shall I call you father?
Aye, my good son.
Be ruled by him, Lord Ajax.
There is no tarrying here. The heart Achilles keeps thicket. Please it our general to call together all his state of war. Fresh knights are come to Troy. We must tomorrow with all our main of power stand fast. And here's a lord. Come, knights from east to west, and cull their flower. Ajax shall cope the best.
Go we to council. Let Achilles sleep. Light boats sail swift, though greater bulks draw deep.
Friend, you, pray you, a word. Do not you follow the young Lord Paris?
Aye, sir, when he goes before me.
You depend upon him, I mean?
Sir, I do depend upon the Lord.
You depend upon a noble gentleman. I must needs praise him.
The Lord be praised.
You know me, do you not?
Faith, sir. Superficially.
Friend, know me better. I am the Lord Pandarus.
I hope I shall know your honor better.
I do desire it.
You are in the state of grace?
Grace! Not so, friend. Honor and lordship are my titles. What music is this?
I do but partly know, sir. It is music in parts.
Know you the musicians?
Wholly, sir.
Who play they to?
To the hearers, sir.
At whose pleasure, friend?
At mine, sir, and there's that love music.
Command, I mean, friend.
Who shall I command, sir?
Friend, we understand not one another. I am too courtly, and thou too cunning. At whose request do these men play?
That's to it indeed, sir. Marry, sir, at the request of Paris, my lord, who's there in person. With him the mortal Venus, heart blood of beauty, love's invisible soul.
Who? My cousin Cressida.
No, sir. Helen. Could you not find out that by her attributes?
It should seem, fellow, that thou hast not seen the Lady Cressida. I come to speak with Paris from the Prince Troilus. I will make a complimental assault upon him, for my business sieves.
Sodden business. There's a stewed phrase indeed.
Fair be to you, my lord, and to all this fair company. Fair desires in all fair measures fairly guide them, especially to you, fair queen. Fair thoughts be your fair pillow.
Dear lord, you are full of fair words.
You speak your fair pleasure, sweet queen. Fair prince, here is good broken music.
You have broken it, cousin, and by my life you shall make it whole again. You shall piece it out with piece of your performance. Sweetie is full of harmony.
Truly, lady, no.
Oh, sir.
Rude in sooth, in good sooth, very rude. I have business to my lord, dear queen. My lord, will you vouchsafe me a word?
Nay, this shall not hedge us out. We'll hear you sing, certainly.
Well, sweet queen, you are pleasant with me, but marry thus, my lord, my dear lord, and most esteemed friend, your brother Troilus.
My lord Pandarus, honey, sweet lord.
Go to, sweet queen, go to. Commends himself most affectionately to you.
You shall not bob us of our melody. If you do, our melancholy upon your head.
Sweet queen, that's a sweet queen, if faith.
And to make a sweet lady sad is a sour offense.
Nay, that shall not serve your turn, that shall it not in truth law. And, my lord, he desires you, that if the king call for him at supper, you will make his excuse.
My Lord Pandarus?
What says my sweet queen, my very, very sweet queen?
What exploits at hand? Where sups he tonight?
Nay, but my lord.
What says my sweet queen?
You must not know where he sups.
I'll lay my life with the traitor's daughter Cressida.
No such matter. You are wide. Come, my young niece is sick.
Well, I'll make his excuse.
Aye, good my lord. Why should you say Cressida? No, I speak truth. Indeed, she is sick.
I spy.
You spy? What do you spy? Come, give me an instrument now, sweet queen.
Why, this is kindly done.
Come, I'll sing you a song now.
Aye, prithee now. By my troth, sweet lord, thou hast a fine forehead.
Aye, you may.
Let thy song be love. This love will undo us all. Oh, Cupid.
Love. Aye, that it shall, faith.
Aye, good now. Love, nothing but love.
In good troth, it begins so. Love, nothing but love still more. For love's bow shoots buck and doe. The shaft confounds not that it wounds, but tickle still does sore. These lovers cry, oh, they die. Yet that which seems to wound, to kill, doth turn, to e. So dying love lives still. A while, but groans out for love, nothing but love still more. For love's bow shoots buck and doe. The shaft confounds not that it wounds, but tickles still the sore. Hey-ho!
In love, i'faith, to the very tip of the nose.
He eats nothing but doves, love, and that breeds hot blood. And hot blood begets hot thoughts, and hot thoughts beget hot deeds, and hot deeds is love.
Is this the generating of love? Hot blood, hot thoughts, and hot deeds? Why, they are vipers. Is love the generating of vipers? Sweet lord, who's afield today?
Hector, Helenus, and Tenor, and all the gallantry of Troy. I would fain have armed today, but my sweet would not have it so. How chance my brother Troilus went not?
He hangs the lip at something. You know all, Lord Pandarus.
Not I, honey sweet queen. I long to hear how they sped today. You'll remember your brother's excuse.
To a hair.
Farewell, sweet queen.
Commend me to your niece.
I will, sweet queen.
They're come from a field. Come, let us to Priam's hall to greet the warriors. Sweet Helen, I must woo you to help unarm our Hector. His buckles with these your sweet enchanting fingers touched shall more obey than the edge of steel or force of Greekish sinews. You shall do more than all the island kings. Disarm great Hector.
'Twill make us proud to be his servant, Paris. Yea, what he shall receive of us in duty gives us more palm in beauty than we have. Yea, overshines ourself.
Sweet, above thought, I love thee.
How now? Where's Prince Troilus? At my cousin Cressida's?
No, sir. He stays for you to conduct him thither.
Oh, here he comes. How now?
Alexander, walk off.
Have you seen my cousin?
No, Pandarus, I stalk about her door like a strange soul upon the Stygian bank, staying for waftage. Oh, be thou my Charon, and grant me swift transportance to those fields where I may wallow in the lily beds proposed for the deserver. O gentle Pandarus, from Cupid's shoulder pluck his painted wings and fly with me to Cressida.
Walk here at the orchard. I'll bring her straight.
I am giddy. Expectation whirls me round. The imaginary relish is so sweet that it enchants my sense. What will it be when that the watery palate's taste indeed loves thrice of pure nectar? Death, I fear me. Swooning destruction or some joy too fine, too subtle, potent, and too sharp in sweetness for the capacity of my ruder powers. I fear it much. And I do fear besides that I shall lose distinction in my joys as doth a battle when they charge on heaps, the enemy flying.
She's making her ready. She'll come straight. You must be witty now. She does so blush and fetches her wind so short as if she were frayed with a sprite. I'll fetch her. It is the prettiest villain. She fetches her breath so short as a new tamed sparrow.
Even such a passion doth embrace my bosom. My heart beats thicker than a fever's pulse, and all my powers they're bestowing lose like vassalage at unawares encountering the eye of majesty.
Oh, come, what need you blush? Shame's a baby. Here she is now. Swear the oaths now to her that you have sworn to me. What, are you gone again? You must be watched ere you be made tame, must you? Why do you not speak to her? Come, draw this curtain, and let's see your picture. Alas the day, how loath you are to offend daylight. And twere dark, you'd close sooner. So, rub on and kiss the mistress. How now, a kiss in fee farm? The build there, carpenter, the air is sweet. Nay, you will fight your hearts out ere I part you. Go to.
You have bereft me of all words, lady.
Words pay no debts, give her deeds, but she'll bereave you of the deeds too if she call your activity in question. What, billing again? Come in, I'll go get a fire.
Will you walk in, my lord?
Oh, Cressida, how often have I wished me thus?
Wished, my lord? The gods grant! Oh, my lord!
What should they grant? What makes this pretty abruption? What too curious drag espies my sweet lady in the fountain of our love?
More drags than water, if my fears have eyes.
Fears make devils of cherubins, they never see truly.
Blind fear, that seeing reason leads, oft finds safer footing than blind reason stumbling without fear. To fear the worst oft cures the worse.
Oh, let my lady apprehend no fear. In all Cupid's pageant there is presented no monster.
Nor nothing monstrous neither.
Nothing but our undertakings. When we vow to weep seas, live in fire, eat rocks, tame tigers, thinking it harder for our mistress to devise imposition enough than for us to undergo any difficulty imposed. This is the monstruosity in love, lady, that the will is infinite and the execution confined, that the desire is boundless and the act a slave to limit.
They say all lovers swear more performance than they are able, and yet reserve an ability that they never perform, vowing more than the perfection of 10 and discharging less than the 10th part of 1. They that have the voice of lions in the act of hares, are they not monsters?
Are there such? Such are not we. Praise us as we are tasted. Allow us as we prove. Our head shall go bare till merit crown it. We will not name desert before his birth, and being born, his addition shall be humble. A few words to fair faith. Troilus shall be such to Cressida, as what envy can say worst shall be a mock for his truth. And what truth can speak truest? Not truer than Troilus.
Will you walk in, my lord?
What, blushing still? Have you not done talking yet?
Well, uncle, what folly I commit I dedicate to you.
I thank you for that. If my lord get a boy of you, you'll give him me. Be true to my lord. If he flinch, chide me for it.
You know now you're hostages. Your uncle's word and my firm faith.
Boldness comes to me now and brings me hard, Prince Troilus. I have loved you night and day for many weary months.
Why was my Cressida then so hard to win?
Hard to seem one, but I was one, my lord, with the first glance that ever... Pardon me, if I confess so much, you will play the tyrant. I love you now, but not till now so much, but I might master it. In faith, I lie. My thoughts were like unbridled children grown too headstrong to their mother. See, we fools, why have I blabbed? Who will be true to us when we are so unsecret to ourselves? But though I loved you well, I wooed you not, and yet, good faith, I wished myself a man, or that we women had men's privilege of speaking first. Sweet, bid me hold my tongue, for in this rapture I shall surely speak the thing I shall repent. See, your silence, cunning and dumbness from my weakness draws my soul of counsel from me, stop my mouth.
And shall, albeit sweet music, issues thence.
Pretty, faith.
My lord, I do beseech you, pardon me. 'Tis not my purpose thus to beg a kiss. Oh, heavens, I am ashamed. For this time I will take my leave, my lord.
Your leave, sweet Cressida?
Leave? And you take leave till tomorrow morning?
Pray you content you.
What offends you, lady?
Sir, mine own company.
You cannot shun yourself.
Let me go and try. I have a kind of self resides with you, but an unkind self that is self-believed to be another's fool. Where's my wit? I would be gone. I speak I know not what.
Well know they what they speak, that speak so wisely.
Perchance, my lord, I show more craft than love, and fell so roundly to a large confession to angle for your thoughts. But you are wise. Or else you love not. For to be wise in love exceeds man's might that dwells with gods above.
That I thought it could be in a woman. As if it can, I will presume in you to feed for aye her lamp and flames of love, to keep her constancy in plight and youth, outliving beauties outward with a mind that doth renew swifter than blood decays. How were I then uplifted? But alas, I am as true as truth's simplicity and simpler than the infancy of truth.
And that all war with you.
Oh, virtue is fight, when right with right wars, who shall be most right? True swains in love shall in the world to come approve their truths by Troilus. When their rhymes, full of protest, of oath and big compare, wants similes, truth tired with iteration. As true as steel, as plaintage to the moon, as sun to day, as turtle to her mate, as iron to adamant, as earth to the center. Yet after all comparisons of truth, as truth's authentic author to be cited, as true as Troilus, shall crown up the verse and sanctify the numbers.
Prophet may you be. If I be false, or swerve a hair from truth, when time is old and hath forgot itself, when water drops have worn the stones of Troy, and blind oblivion swallowed cities up, and mighty states characterless are graded to dusty nothing. Yet let memory, from false to false, among false maids in love, braid my falsehood, when they've said as false as air, as water, wind, or sandy earth, fox to lamb, or wolf to heifer's calf, pard to the hind, or stepdame to her son, yea, let them say, to stick the heart of falsehood, as false as Cressida.
Go to, a bargain made. Seal it, I'll be the witness. Here I hold your hand. Hear my cousins, if ever you prove false one to another, since I have taken such pains to bring you together, let all pitiful goers between be called to the world's end after my name. Call them all panders. Let all constant men be Troiluses, all false women Cressids, and all brokers between panders. Say amen.
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 Amen. Whereupon I will show you a chamber, which bed, because it shall not speak of your pretty encounters, press it to death. Away! Cupid grant all tongue-tied maidens here bed, chamber, and pander to provide this gear.
princes, for this service I have done you, the advantage of the time prompts me aloud to call for recompense. Appear it in your minds that through sight I bear in things to come, I have abandoned Troy, left my possession, incurred a traitor's name, and exposed myself from certain and possessed conveniences to doubtful fortunes, sequestering from me all that time, acquaintance, custom, and condition made tame and most familiar to my nature. And here to do you service am become as new into the world. Strange, unacquainted, I do beseech you now, as in way of taste, to give me now a little benefit out of those many registered in promise which you say live to come in my behalf.
What wouldst thou of us, Calchas? Make demand.
You have a Troyan prisoner called Antenor, recently took. Troy holds him very dear. Often have you, thanks therefore, desired my Cressida in right great exchange, whom Troy hath still denied. But this Antenor I know is such a rest in their affairs that all their negotiations must slack wanting his manage. And they will almost give us a prince of blood, a son of Priam, in change of him. Let him be sent great princes, and he shall buy my daughter, and her presence shall quite strike off all service I have done in most accepted pain.
Let Diomedes bear him, and bring us Cressida hither. Calchas shall have what he requests of us. Good Diomed, furnish you fairly for this interchange, and withal bring word if Hector will tomorrow be answered in his challenge. Ajax is ready.
This I shall undertake, and 'tis a burden which I am proud to bear.
Achilles stands in the entrance of his tent. Please it our general to pass strangely by him as if he were forgot, and princes all lay negligent and loose regard upon him. I will come last. 'Tis like he'll question me why such unplausive eyes are bent, why turned on him. If so, I have derision medicinable to use between your strangeness and his pride, which his own will shall have desire to drink.
We'll execute your purpose, and put on a form of strangeness as we pass along. So do each, Lord, and either greet him not, or else disdainfully, which shall shake him more than if not looked on. I will lead the way.
What comes the general to speak with me? You know my mind. I'll fight no more against Troy.
What says Achilles? Would he aught with us?
Would you, my lord, aught with the general?
No.
Nothing, my lord.
The better.
Good day, good day.
How do you?
What, does the cuckold scorn me?
How now, Patroclus?
Good morrow, Ajax.
Huh?
Good morrow.
Aye, and good next day, too.
What mean these fellows? Know they not Achilles?
They pass by strangely. They were used to bend, to send their smiles before them to Achilles, to come as humbly as they used to creep to holy altars.
What, am I poor of late? 'Tis certain greatness once fallen out with fortune must fall out with men too. What the declined is, he shall as soon read in the eyes of others as feel in his own fall. For men like butterflies show not through merely wings, but to the summer, and not a man, for being simply a man, hath any honor, but is honored for those honors that are without him. But 'tis not so with me. Fortune and I are friends. I do enjoy at ample point all that it did possess, save these men's looks. Here's Ulysses. I'll interrupt his reading. How now, Ulysses?
Now, great Thetis' son.
What are you reading?
A strange fellow here writes me that man, how dearly ever parted, how much in having, or without, or in, cannot make boast to have that which he hath, nor feels not what he owes, but by reflection, as when his virtues, shining upon others, heat them, and they retort that heat again to the first giver.
This is not strange, Ulysses. The beauty that is born here in the face, the bearer knows not, but eye to eye opposed salutes each other with each other's forms. For speculation turns not to itself till it hath travelled, and is married there where it may see itself. This is not strange at all.
I do not strain it at the position, it is familiar, but at the author's drift, who in his circumstance expressly proves that no man is the lord of anything, though in and of him there is much consisting, till he communicate his parts to others. Nor doth he of himself know them for aught, till he behold them, formed in the applause wherein they are extended, who like an arch reverberate the voice again, or like a gate of steel facing the sun, receives and renders back his figure and his heat. I was much rapt in this, and apprehended here immediately. The unknown Ajax, heavens, what a man is there, a very horse that has he knows not what. Ah, nature, what things there are most abject in regard and dear in use. What things again most dear in the esteem and poor in worth. Now shall we see tomorrow an act that very chanced to throw upon him? Ajax renowned? Oh, heavens, what some men do, while some men leave to do. How some men creep in skittish Fortune's hall, while others play the idiot in her eyes. To see these Grecian lords, why, even already they clap the lubber Ajax on the shoulder as if his foot were on brave Hector's breast and great Troy shrinking.
I do believe it, for they passed by me as misers do by beggars, neither gave me good word nor look. What, are my deeds forgot?
Time hath, my lord, a wallet at his back, wherein he puts alms for oblivion, a great-sized monster of ingratitudes. Those scraps are good deeds past, which are devoured as soon as they are made, forgot as soon as done. Perseverance, dear my lord, keeps honor bright. To have done is to hang quite out of fashion, like a rusty mail in monumental mockery. Take the instant way, for honor travels in a strait so narrow where one but goes abreast. Keep then the path, for emulation hath 1,000 sons that one by one pursue. If you give way, or hedge aside from the direct forthright, like to an entered tide they all rush by and leave you hindmost. Then what they do in present, though less than yours in past, must o'ertop yours. For time is like a fashionable host, that slightly shakes his parting guest by the hand, and with arms outstretched as he would fly, grasps in the comer. The welcome ever smiles, and farewell goes out sighing. Oh, let not virtue seek remuneration for the thing it was, for beauty, wit, high birth, vigor of bone, desert in service, love, friendship, charity, are subjects all to envious and calumniating time. One touch of nature makes the whole world kin, that all with one consent praise newborn gods, though they are made and molded of things past, and give to dust that is a little guilt more laud than gilt or dusted. The present eye praises the present object. Then marvel not, thou great and complete man, that all the Greeks begin to worship Ajax, since things in motion sooner catch the eye than what not stirs. The cry went once on thee, and still it might, and yet it may again, if thou wouldst not entomb thyself alive, and case thy reputation in thy tent, who even in these fields of late made emulous missions mongst the gods themselves, and drave great Mars to faction.
Of this my privacy I have strong reasons.
But 'gainst your privacy the reasons are more potent and heroical. 'Tis known, Achilles, that you've recently begun a dalliance with Hector's sister, the sweet Polyxena.
Ha! Known?
Is that a wonder? Surveillance that is in a watchful state knows almost every grain of Pluto's gold, finds bottom in the uncomprehensive deeps, keeps place with thought, and almost like the gods themselves do thoughts unveil in their dumb cradles. All the commerce that you have had with Troy as perfectly is ours as yours, my lord. Farewell, my lord. I, as your knower, speak.
The fool slides o'er the ice that you should break.
To this effect, Achilles, have I moved you. A woman impudent and mannish grown is not more loathed than an effeminate man in time of action. I stand condemned for this. They think my little stomach to the war and your great love to me restrains you thus. Sweet, rouse yourself, and the weak wanton Cupid shall from your neck unloose his amorous fold, and, like a dewdrop from the lion's mane, be shook to air.
Shall Ajax fight with Hector?
Aye, and perhaps receive much honor by him.
I see my reputation is at stake. My fame is shrewdly gored.
Oh, then beware. Those wounds heal ill that men do give themselves.
Go call Thersites hither, sweet Patroclus. I'll send the fool to Ajax, and desire him to invite the Trojan lords after the combat to see us here unarmed. I have a woman's longing, an appetite that I am sick withal to see great Hector in his weeds of peace, to talk with him and to behold his visage, even to my fullest of view. A labor saved.
Oh, wonder.
What?
Ajax goes up and down the field asking for himself.
How so?
He must fight singly tomorrow with Hector and is so prophetically proud of an heroical cudgeling that he raves in saying nothing.
How can this be?
Why, he stalks up and down like a peacock astride in a stand. The man's undone forever, for if Hector break not his neck in the combat, he'll break it himself in vain glory. He knows not me. I said, "Good morrow, Ajax," and he replies, "Thanks, Agamemnon." What think you of this man that takes me for the general? He's grown a very landfish, languageless, a monster.
Thou must be my ambassador to him, Thersites.
Who, I? Why, he'll answer to nobody. He professes not answering. Speaking is for beggars. He wears his tongue in his arms. I shall put on his presence. Let Patroclus make his demands to me. You shall see the pageant of Ajax.
To him, Patroclus. Do this.
Jove bless great Ajax. I come from the worthy Achilles, who most humbly desires you to invite Hector to his tent, and to procure safe conduct from Agamemnon.
Agamemnon?
Aye, my lord. What say you to it?
God be with you with all my heart.
Your answer, sir?
If tomorrow be a fair day by 11 o'clock, it will go one way or other.
Your answer, sir?
Fare you well with all my heart.
Why, but he is not in this tune, is he?
Nay, but he's out of a tune thus. What music will begin him when Hector has knocked out his brains, I know not.
Come, thou shalt bear a letter to him straight.
Let me carry another to his horse, for that's the more capable creature.
My mind is troubled like a fountain stirred, and I myself see not the bottom of it.
Would that fountain of your mind were clear again, then I might water an ass in it. I'd rather be a tick and a sheep than such a valiant ignorance.
See ho! Who is that there?
It is the Lord Aeneas.
Is the prince there in person? Had I so good occasion to lie long as you, Prince Paris? Nothing but heavenly business should rob my bedmate of my company.
Well, that's my mind, too. Good morrow, Lord Aeneas.
A valiant Greek Aeneas, take his hand. Witness the process of your speech wherein you told how Diomed a whole week by days did haunt you in the field.
Health to you, valiant sir, during all question of this gentle truce. But when I meet you armed, as black defiance as heart can think or courage execute.
One and the other Diomed embraces. Our bloods are now in calm and so long health. But when contention and occasion meet, by Jove, I'll play the hunter for thy life, with all my force, pursuit, and policy.
And thou shalt hunt a lion that will fly with his face backward. In human gentleness, welcome to Troy. Now by Anchises' life, welcome indeed. By Venus' hand, I swear, no man alive can love in such a sort the thing he means to kill more excellently.
We know each other well.
We do, and long to know each other worse.
This is the most despitefulest gentle greeting, the noblest hateful love that e'er I heard of.
Pray you, Paris, I was sent for to the king, but why I know not.
His purpose meets you. 'Twas to bring Diomed to Calchas' house, and there to render him for the afraid Antenor the fair Cressida. Let's have your company, or, if you please, haste there before us. I constantly do think, or rather call my thought a certain knowledge, my brother Troilus lodges there tonight. Rouse him, and give him note of our approach, with the whole quality whereof I fear we shall be much unwelcome.
That I assure you, Troilus had rather Troy were born to Greece than Cressida born from Troy.
There is no help. The bitter disposition of the time will have it so. On Lord will follow you.
Good morrow, friend.
And tell me, noble Diomed, faith, tell me true, even in the soul of sound good fellowship, who in your thoughts merits fair Helen most, myself or Menelaus?
Both alike. He merits well to have her that doth seek her, not making any scruple of her soiler, with such a hell of pain and world of charge. And you as well to keep her that defend her, not palating the taste of her dishonor, with such a costly loss of wealth and friends. He, like a puling cuckold, would drink up the lees and dregs of a flat, tamed peace. You, like a lecher, out of whorish loins, are pleased to breed out your inheritors. Both merits poised, each weighs no less nor more. But he is he, which heavier for a whore?
You are too bitter to your countrywoman.
She is bitter to her country. Hear me, Paris, for every false drop in her body veins a Grecian's life hath sunk. For every scruple of her contaminated carrion weight a Trojan hath been slain. Since she could speak, she hath not given so many good words breath. As for her, Greeks and Trojans suffered death.
Fair Diomed, you do as tradesmen do. Dispraise the thing that you desire to buy. But we in silence hold this virtue well. We'll not commend what we intend to sell. Here lies our way.
Dear, trouble not yourself. The morn is cold.
Then, sweet my lord, I'll call mine uncle down. He shall unbolt the gates.
Trouble him not. To bed, to bed. Sleep, kill those pretty eyes, and give as soft attachment to thy senses as infants, empty of all thought.
Good morrow, then.
I prithee now to bed.
Are you weary of me?
Oh, Cressida, but that the busy day, waked by the lark, hath roused the ribald crows, and dreaming night will hide our joys no longer, I would not from thee.
Night hath been too brief.
Beshrew the witch. With venomous whites she stays as hideously as hell, but flies the grasps of love with wings more momentary, swift than thought. You will catch cold and curse me.
Prithee, tarry. You men will never tarry. Oh, foolish Cressida, then I might have still held off, and then you would have tarried. Hark, there's one up.
What's all the doors open here?
It is your uncle.
Oh, pestilence on him. Now he will be mocking. I shall have such a life.
How now, how go maidenheads? Here, you maid, where's my cousin Cressida?
Go hang yourself, you naughty mocking uncle. You bring me to do, and then you flout me too.
Oh, this is what? What have I, let her say what? What have I brought you to do?
Come, beshrew your heart. You'll ne'er be good nor suffer others.
Alas, poor wretch. Hast not slept tonight? Would he not? A naughty man let it sleep? A book will take him!
Did not I tell you? Would he were knocked in the head. Who's that at door? Good uncle, go and see. My lord, come you again into my chamber. I would not for half Troy have you seen here. How earnestly they knock! Pray you, come in.
Who's there? What's the matter? Will you beat down the door? Who's there? What's the matter?
Good morrow, Lord, good morrow.
Who's there? My Lord Aeneas. By my troth, I knew you not. What news with you so early?
Is not Prince Troilus here?
Here? What should he do here?
Come, he is here, my lord. Do not deny him. It doth import him much to speak with me.
Is he here? Say you? 'Tis more than I know, I'll be sworn. For my own part, I came in late. What should he do here?
Nay, then, come, you'll do him wrong ere you're aware. You'll be so true to him to be false to him. Do not you know of him, but yet go fetch him hither. Go.
How now? What's the matter?
My lord, I scarce have leisure to salute you, my matter is so rash. There is at hand your brothers Paris and priest Helenus, the Grecian Diomed and our Antenor delivered to us, and for him, forthwith, ere the first sacrifice, within this hour, we must give up to Diomedes' hand the Lady Cressida.
Is it concluded so?
By Priam and the general state of Troy.
Oh, my achievements mock me. I will go meet them. And my lord Aeneas, we met by chance. You did not find me here.
Good, my lord. The secrets of neighbor Pander have not more gift in taciturnity.
It's possible. No sooner got but lost. The devil take Antenor. The young prince will go mad. A plague upon Antenor. I would they had broke his neck.
How now? What's the matter? Who is here? Why sigh you so profoundly? Where's my lord? Gone? Tell me, sweet uncle, what's the matter?
Would I were as deep under the earth as I am above.
Oh, the gods, what's the matter?
Prithee, get thee in. Would thou hadst ne'er been born, I knew thou wouldst be his death. Oh, poor gentleman, a plague upon Antenor.
Tell me, sweet uncle, I beseech you on my knees, I beseech you, what's the matter?
Thou must be gone, wench. Thou must be gone. Thou art exchanged for Antenor. Thou must to thy father and be gone from Troilus. 'Twill be his death, 'twill be his bane. He cannot bear it.
Oh, you immortal gods. I will not go.
Thou must.
I will not, uncle. I have forgot my father. I know no touch of consanguinity, no kin, no love, no blood, no soul so near me as the sweet Troilus. Oh, all you gods divine, may Cressid's name the very crown of falsehood if e'er she leave Troilus. Time, force, and death do to this body what extremity you can, but the strong base and building of my love is as the very center of the earth. Drawing all things to it, I will go in and weep.
Do.
Tear my bright hair and scratch my praised cheeks. Crack my clear voice with sobs and break my heart with sounding Troilus. I will not go from Troy!
It is great morning, and the hour prefix of her delivery to this valiant Greek comes fast upon. Good my brother Troilus, tell you the lady what she is to do, and haste her to the purpose.
Walk into her house. I'll bring her to the Grecian presently, and to his hand, when I deliver her, think it an altar, and thy brother Troilus a priest, there offering to it his own heart.
I know what 'tis to love, and would, as I shall pity, I could help. Please you, walk in, my lords.
Be moderate. Be moderate.
Why tell you me of moderation? The grief is fine, full, perfect that I taste, and violenteth in sense as strong as that which causeth it. How could I moderate it? If I could temporize with my affection, or brew it to a weak and colder palate, the like allayment could I give my grief. My love admits no qualifying dross, no more this grief in such a precious loss.
Here, he comes, a sweet duck.
Oh, Troilus.
What a pair of spectacles is here. Let me embrace too. How now, lambs?
Cressid, I love thee in so strange a purity that the blessed gods, as angry with my fancy, more bright in zeal than the devotion which cold lips blow to their deities, take thee from me.
Have the gods envy?
I, Aye, 'tis too plain a case.
And is it true that I must go from Troy?
A hateful truth.
What, and from Troilus too?
From Troy and Troilus.
Is't possible?
And suddenly, where injury of chance puts back leave-taking, jostles roughly by, all time of pause, rudely beguiles our lips of all rejoinder, forcibly prevents our locked embrasures, strangles our dear vows, even in the birth of our own laboring breath.
My lord, is the lady ready?
Hark, you are called. Some say the genius so cries, come to him, that instantly must die. Bid them have patience, she shall come anon.
Where are my tears? Rain to lay this wind, or my heart will be blown up by the root.
I must, then, to the Grecians?
No remedy.
A woeful cressid amongst the merry Greeks. When shall I see you again?
Hear me, my love. Be thou but true of heart.
Be true? How now? What wicked deem is this?
Nay, we must use expostulation kindly, for it is parting from us. I speak not, be thou true, as fearing thee, for I will throw my glove to death himself, that there's no maculation in thy heart. But be thou true, say I to fashion in my sequent protestation. Be thou true, and I will see thee.
Oh, you shall be exposed, my lord, to dangers as infinite as imminent. But I'll be true.
And I'll grow friend with danger. Wear this sleeve?
And you this glove. When shall I see you?
I will corrupt the Grecian sentinels to give thee nightly visitation. But yet be true.
Oh, heavens, be true again.
Hear why I speak it, love. The Grecian youths are full of quality. They're loving, well composed, with gifts of nature and swelling o'er with arts and exercise. How novelties may move and parts with person. Alas, a kind of godly jealousy, which I beseech you call a virtuous sin, makes me afraid.
Oh, heavens, you love me not?
Die I a villain, then. In this, I do not call your faith in question so mainly as my merit. I cannot sing, nor heal the high lavold, nor sweeten talk, nor play at subtle games, fair virtues all to which the Grecians are most prompt and pregnant. But I can tell that in each grace of these there lurks a still and dumb discursive devil that tempts most cunningly, but be not tempted.
Do you think I will?
No. But something may be done that we will not. And sometimes we are devils to ourselves when we will tempt the frailty of our powers, presuming on their changeful potency.
Nay, good my lord.
Come kiss and let us part.
Brother Troilus.
Good brother, come you hither and bring Aeneas and the Grecian with you.
My lord, will you be true?
Why? Alas, it is my vice, my fault. While others fish with craft for great opinion, I, with great truth, catch mere simplicity. Fear not my truth. The moral of my wit is plain and true. There's all the reach of it. Welcome, Sir Diomed. Here is the lady, which for Antenor we deliver you. The gates, lord, I'll give her to thy hand, and by the way possess thee what she is. Entreat her fair, and by my soul, fair Greek, if e'er thou stand at mercy of my sword, name Cressid, and thy life shall be as safe as Priam is in Ilion.
Fair Lady Cressid, so please you, save the thanks this prince expects. The luster in your eye, heaven in your cheek pleads your fair usage, and to Diomed you shall be mistress, and command him wholly.
Grecian! Thou dost not use me courteously to shame the seal of my petition to thee in praising her. I'll tell thee, Lord of Greece, she is as far high soaring o'er thy praises as thou unworthy to be called her servant. I charge thee use her well, even for my charge. For by the dreadful Pluto, if thou dost not, though the great spoke Achilles be thy guard, I'll cut thy throat.
Oh, be not moved, Prince Troilus. Let me be privileged by my place and message to be a speaker free. When I am hence, I'll answer to my lust. And no, my lord, I'll nothing do on charge. To her own worth she shall be prized, but that you say, be it so, I'll speak it in mine spirit and honor. No.
Come to the gates. I'll tell thee, Diomed, this brave shall oft make thee to hide thy head. Lady, give me your hand. And as we walk, to our own selves bend we our needful talk.
Hark, Hector's trumpet.
How have we spent this morning? The prince must think me tardy and remiss that swore to ride before him to the field.
'Tis Troilus' fault. Come, to field with him.
Let us make ready straight.
Yea, with a bridegroom's fresh alacrity, let us address to tend on Hector's heels. The glory of our Troy doth this day lie on his fair worth and single chivalry.
Here art thou in appointment fresh and fair, anticipating time. With starting courage, give with thy trumpet a loud note to Troy, thou dreadful Ajax, that the Apollinaire may pierce the head of the great combatant and hail him hither.
Thou trumpet, there's my purse. Now crack thy lungs and split thy brazen pipe. Blow, villain, till thy spirit biased cheek outswell the colic of puffed Aquilon. Come, stretch thy chest and let thy eyes spout blood. Thou blowest for Hector.
No trumpet answers.
'Tis but early days.
Is not yon Diomed with Calchas' daughter?
'Tis he. I ken the manner of his gait. He rises on the toe. That spirit of his in aspiration lifts him from the earth.
Is this the Lady Cressida?
Even she.
Most dearly welcome to the Greeks, sweet lady.
Our general doth salute you with a kiss.
Yet is the kindness but particular. 'Twere better she were kissed in general.
And very courtly counsel. I'll begin. So much for Nestor.
I'll take that winter from your lips, fair lady. Achilles bids you welcome.
I had good argument for kissing once.
But that's no argument for kissing now, for thus popped Paris in his hardiment, and parted thus you and your argument.
Oh, deadly gall and theme of all our scorns, for which we lose our heads to gild his horns.
The first was Menelaus' kiss. This, mine, Patroclus, kisses you.
Oh, this is trim.
Paris and I kiss evermore for
I'll
him.
have my kiss, sir. Lady, by your leave.
In kissing, do you render or receive?
Both take and give.
I'll make my match to live. The kiss you take is better than you give, therefore no kiss.
I'll give you boot. I'll give you 3 for 1.
You are an odd man. Give even or give none.
An odd man, lady. Every man is odd.
No, Paris is not, for you know 'tis true that you are odd and he is even with you.
You flip me o'er the head.
No, I'll be sworn.
It were no match, your nail against his horn. May I, sweet lady, beg a kiss of you?
You may.
I do desire it.
Why beg, then?
Why then, for Venus' sake, give me a kiss, when Helen is a maid again and his.
I am your debtor. Claim it when 'tis due.
Never's my day, and then a kiss of you.
Lady, a word. I'll bring you to your father.
A woman of quick sense.
Fie, fie upon her. There's a language in her eye, her cheek, her lip. Nay, her foot speaks. Her wanton spirits look out at every joint and motive of her body. Oh, these encounterers, so glib of tongue, they give a costing welcome ere it comes, and wide unclasp the tables of their thoughts to every tickling reader. Set them down for sluttish spoils of opportunity and daughters of the game.
The Trojans' trumpet!
Yonder comes the troop.
Hail all you, state of Greece! What shall be done to him that victory commands? Or do you purpose a victor shall be known? Will you the night shall to the edge of all extremity pursue each other? Or shall they be divided by any voice or order of the field? Hector bade ask.
Which way would Hector have it?
He cares not. He'll obey conditions.
'Tis done like Hector, but securely done, a little proudly and a great deal despising the knight opposed.
If not Achilles, sir, what is your name?
If not Achilles, nothing.
Therefore Achilles, but what ere, know this, in the extremity of great and little, valor and pride excel themselves in Hector. The one almost as infinite as all, the other blank as nothing. Weigh him well. And that which looks like pride is courtesy. This Ajax is half made of Hector's blood, in love whereof half Hector stays at home. Half heart, half hand, half Hector comes to seek this blended knight, half Troyan and half Greek.
A maiden battle, then. Oh, I perceive you.
Here is Sir Diomed. Go, gentle knight, stand by our Ajax. As you and Lord Aeneas consent upon the order of their fight, so be it. And either to the uttermost or else a breath. The combatants being kin have stints their strife before their strokes begin.
They are opposed already.
What Troyan is that same that looks so heavy?
The youngest son of Priam, a true knight. They call him Troilus. Not yet mature, yet matchless, firm of word, speaking in deeds and deedless in his tongue. Not soon provoked, nor being provoked, soon calmed. His heart and hand both open and both free. For what he has he gives, what thinks he shows. Yet gives he not till judgment guide his bounty, nor dignifies an impure thought with breath. Manly as Hector, but more dangerous. For Hector in his blaze of wrath subscribes to tender objects, but he in heat of action is more vindicative than jealous love. They call him Troilus, and on him erect a second hope as fairly built as Hector.
They are in action!
Now, Ajax, hold I know.
Hector, thou sleepst, awake thee.
His blows are well disposed. There, Ajax!
You must know more.
Princes, enough, so please you.
I am not warm yet. Let us fight again.
As Hector pleases.
Why then will I no more? Thou art, great lord, my father's sister's son, cousin german to great Priam's seed. The obligation of our blood forbids a gory emulation twixt us twain. Were thy commiction Greek and Troyan so that thou couldst say, this hand is Grecian all, and this Troyan. The sinews of this leg all Greek, and this all Troy. My mother's blood runs on the dexter cheek, and in the sinister bounds in my father's. By Jove multipotent, thou shouldst not bear from me a Greekish member, wherein my sword had not impressure made of our rank feud. But the just gods gainsay that any drop thou borrowedst from thy mother, my sacred aunt, should by my mortal sword be drained. Let me embrace thee, Ajax. By him that thunders, thou hast lusty arms. Hector would have them fall upon him thus. Cousin, all honor to thee.
I thank thee, Hector. Thou art too gentle and too free a man. I came to kill thee, cousin, and bear hence a great addition earned in thy death.
Not even the most greatest brave Achilles, on whose bright crest fame, with her loud oh yes, cries, this is he, could promise to himself a thought of added honor, torn from Hector.
There is expectance here from both the sides. What further you will do?
We'll answer it. The issue is embracement. Ajax, farewell.
If I might in entreaties find success, which seld I have the chance, I would desire my famous cousin to our Grecian tents.
'Tis Agamemnon's wish, and the great Achilles doth long to see unarmed the valiant Hector.
Aeneas, call my brother Troilus to me, and signify this loving interview to the expectors of our Trojan part, desire them home. Give me thy hand, my cousin, I will go eat with thee and see your knights.
Great Agamemnon comes to meet us here.
The worthiest of them tell me name by name, but for Achilles, mine own searching eyes shall find him by his large and portly size.
Worthy of arms, as welcome as to one that would be rid of such an enemy. But that's no welcome. Understand more clear what's past and what's to come is strewed with husks and formless ruin of oblivion. But in this extant moment, faith and troth, strained purely from all hollow bias drawing, bids thee with most divine integrity, from heart of very heart, great Hector, welcome.
I thank thee, most imperious Agamemnon.
My well-famed lord of Troy, no less to you.
Let me confirm my princely brother's greetings. You brace of warlike brothers, welcome hither.
Who must we answer?
The noble Menelaus.
Oh, you, my lord, by Mars his gauntlet. Thanks, mock not that I affect the untraded oath. Your quondam wife swears still by Venus' glove. She's well, but bade me not commend her to you.
Name her not now, sir. She's a deadly theme.
Pardon, I offend.
I have, thou gallant Troyan, seen thee oft, laboring for destiny, make cruel way through ranks of Greekish youth. And I have seen thee as hot as Perseus spur thy Phrygian steed, despising many forfeits and subduements, when thou hast hung thy advent sword in the air, not letting it decline on the decline that I have said to some my standards by. Lo! Jupiter is yonder dealing life. And I have seen thee pause and take thy breath when that a ring of Greeks have hemmed thee in, like an Olympian wrestling. This have I seen, but this thy countenance, still locked in steel, I never saw till now. I knew thy grandsire, and once fought with him. He was a soldier good, but by great Mars, the captain of us all, never like thee. Let an old man embrace thee, and, worthy warrior, welcome to our tents.
'Tis the old Nestor.
Let me embrace thee, good old chronicle, that hast so long walked hand in hand with time. Most reverend Nestor, I am glad to clasp thee.
I would my arms could match thee in contention, as they contend with thee in courtesy.
I would they could.
Ha! By this white beard I'd fight with thee tomorrow. Well, welcome. Welcome. I have seen the time.
I wonder now how yonder city stands when we have here her base and pillar by us.
I know your favor, Lord Ulysses, well. Ah, sir, there's many a Greek and Trojan dead since first I saw yourself and Diomed in Ilion on your Greekish embassy.
Sir, I foretold you then what would ensue. My prophecy is but half his journey yet. For yonder walls that pertly front your town, yon towers whose wanton tops do bus the clouds, must kiss their own feet.
I must not believe you. There they stand yet, and modestly I think the fall of every Phrygian stone will cost a drop of Grecian blood. The end crowns all, and that old common arbitrator, Time, will one day end it.
So, to him we leave it. Most gentle and most valiant Hector, welcome. After the general, I beseech you next to feast with me and see me at my tent.
I shall forestall thee, Lord Ulysses, thou. Now, Hector, I have fed mine eyes on thee. I have, with exact view, perused thee, Hector, and quoted joint by joint. Is this Achilles? I am Achilles.
Stand fair, I prithee, let me look on thee.
Behold thy fill.
Nay, I have done already.
Thou art too brief. I will a second time, as I would by thee, view thee limb by limb.
Oh, like a book of sport thou'lt read me o'er, but there's more in me than thou understand'st. Why dost thou so oppress me with thine eye?
Tell me, you heavens, in which part of his body shall I destroy him, whether there or there or there, that I may give the local wound a name, and make distinct the very breach whereout great Hector's spirit flew? Answer me, heavens.
It would discredit the blessed gods, proud man, to answer such a question. Stand again. Thinkest thou to catch my life so pleasantly as to prenominate in nice conjecture where thou wilt hit me dead?
I'll tell thee, yea.
Wert thou an oracle to tell me so, I'd not believe thee. Henceforth guard thee well, for I'll not kill thee there, nor there, nor there, but by the forge that stithied Mars his helm, I'll kill thee everywhere. Yea, o'er and o'er. You wisest Grecians, pardon me this brag, his insolence draws folly from my lips, but I'll endeavor deeds to match these words, or may I never—
Do not chafe thee, cousin, and you, Achilles, let your threats alone till accident or purpose bring you to it. You may have every day enough of Hector if you have stomach. The general state, I fear, can scarce entreat you to be odd with him.
I pray you let us see you in the field. We have had pelting wars since you refused the Grecians' cause.
Dost thou entreat me, Hector? Tomorrow do I meet thee fell as death. Tonight, all friends.
Thy hand upon that match. Now, all you peers of Greece, go to my tent. There, in full, convive we. Afterwards, as Hector's leisure, your bounties shall concur together, severally entreat them. Beat loud the taborins, let the trumpets blow, that this great soldier may his welcome know.
My lord Ulysses, tell me, I beseech you, in what place of field doth Calchas keep?
At Menelaus' tent, most princely Troilus. There Diomed doth feast with him tonight, who neither looks on heaven nor on earth, but gives all gaze and bent of amorous view on the fair Cressida.
Shall I, sweet lord, be bound to thee so much after we part from Agamemnon's tent to bring me thither?
You shall command me, sir. As gentle, tell me, of what honor was this Cressida in Troy? Had she no lover there that wails her absence?
Sir, to such as boasting show their scars, a mock is due. Will you walk on, my lord? She was beloved, she loved, she is and doth. But still, sweet love is food for fortune's tooth.
I'll heat his blood with Greekish wine tonight, which with my scimitar I'll cool tomorrow. Patroclus, let us feast him to the height.
Here comes Thersites.
How now, thou core of envy, thou crusty batch of nature, what's the news?
Why, thou picture of what thou seem'st, an idol of idiot worshippers, here's a letter for thee.
From whence, fragment?
Why, thou full dish of fool, from Troy.
Well said, adversity.
Prithee be silent, boy, I profit not by thy talk. Thou art thought to be Achilles' male varlet.
Male varlet, you rogue. What's that?
Why, his masculine whore. Now the rotten diseases of the south, the gut-griping ruptures, loads of gravel in the back, lethargies, cold palsies, raw eyes, dirt-rotten livers, wheezing lungs, bladders full of impostume, sciaticas, lime kilns in the palm, incurable bone ache, and the like. Take and take again such posterior discoveries.
Why, thou damnable box of envy, thou, what meanst thou to curse thus?
Do I curse thee?
Why, no, you ruinous butt, you whoreson, indistinguishable cur, no.
Why art thou then exasperate, thou idle immaterial skein of sleeve silk, thou green sarcenet flap for a sore eye, thou tassel of a prodigal's purse, thou? Ah, how the poor world is plagued with such waterflies, diminutives of nature.
Out, gull.
Finch egg.
Patroclus, it seems I'm thwarted quite from my great purpose in tomorrow's battle. Here's a letter from Polixena, both taxing me and engaging me to keep a vow that I have sworn. I will not break it. My love must not be turned to bloody wrath. Fall, Greeks, fail, fame, honor, or go or stay. My major vow lies here. This I'll obey. Come, Thersites, help to trim my tent. This night in banqueting must all be spent. Away, Patroclus, thou must not follow me.
My lord?
Away, I say.
My sweet Achilles.
Thou must be gone. I can no more.
With too much blood and too little brain, these two may run mad. But if with too much brain and too little blood they do, I'll be a cure of madmen. Here's Agamemnon, an honest fellow enough, and one that loves bawds, but he has not so much brain as earwax. And the goodly transformation of Jupiter there is his brother, the bull, the primitive statue and a bleak memorial of cuckolds. To what form but that he is, should wit larded with malice and malice farced with wit turn him to? To an ass were nothing, he is both ass and ox. To an ox were nothing, he is both ox and ass. To be a dog, a mule, a cat, a bitchu, a toad, a lizard, an owl, a puttock, or a herring without a roe, I would not care. But to be Menelaus, how'd conspire against destiny? Ask me not what I would be, if I were not Thersites. For I care not to be the louse of a leper, so I were not Menelaus. Hoy-day, spirits and fires.
We go wrong, we go wrong.
No, yonder 'tis. There, where we see the light.
I trouble you.
No, not a whit.
Here comes himself to guide you.
Welcome, brave Hector. Welcome, princes all.
So now, fair Prince of Troy, I bid good night. Ajax commands the guards to tend on you.
Thanks, and good night to the Greeks' general.
Good night, my lord.
Good night, sweet Lord Menelaus.
Sweet, quoth he, sweet, sink, sweet sewer.
Good night, and welcome both at once to those that go or tarry.
Good night.
Old Nestor tarries, and you too, Diomed. Stay and keep Hector company an hour or two.
I cannot, lord. I have important business. The tide whereof is now. Good night, great Hector.
Give me your hand.
Follow his torch. He goes to Calchas' tent. I'll keep you company.
Sweet sir, you honor me.
And so good night.
Come, enter my tent.
That same Diomed's a false-hearted rogue, a most unjust knave. I'll no more trust him when he leers than I will a serpent when he hisses. The sun borrows of the moon when Diomed keeps his word. They say he keeps a Trojan drab and uses the traitor Calchas' tent. All after. But first I'll attend on Patroclus to see what state his misery is taken. Nothing but lechery? All incontinent varlets.
What are you up here, ho? Speak.
Who calls?
Diomed. Calchas, I think. Where's your daughter?
She comes to you.
Stand where the torch may not discover us.
It comes forth to him.
How now, my charge?
Now, my sweet guardian, hark a word with you.
Yea, so familiar.
She will sing any man at first sight.
And any man may sing her. If he can take her clef, she's noted.
Will you remember?
Remember? Yes.
Nay, but do then, and let your mind be coupled with your words.
What should she remember?
List? Sweet honey Greek, tempt me no more to folly.
Roguery. Nay then.
I'll tell you what.
Come tell a pin, you are forsworn.
In faith I cannot. What would you have me do?
A juggling trick to be secretly open.
What did you swear you would bestow upon me?
I prithee, do not hold me to mine oath. Bid me do anything but that, sweet Greek.
Good night.
Hold patience.
How now, Troyan?
Diomed?
No. Good night. I'll be your fool no more.
I better must.
I'll hark one word in your ear.
Oh, plague and madness.
You are moved, Prince. Let us depart, I pray you, lest your displeasure should enlarge itself to wrathful terms. This place is dangerous, the time right deadly. I beseech you, go.
Behold, I pray you.
Nay, good my lord, go off. You flow to great distraction. Come, my lord.
I pray thee, stay.
You have not patience. Come.
I pray you, stay. By hell and all hell's torments, I will not speak a word.
And so, good night.
Nay, but you pardon anger.
Does that grieve thee? Oh, with their truth.
How now, lord?
By Jove, I will be patient.
Guardian, why grieve?
Adieu, you palter.
In faith, I do not. Come hither once again.
You shake, my lord, at something. Will you go? You will break out.
She strokes his cheek.
Come, come.
Nay, stay. By Jove, I will not speak a word. There is between my will and all offenses a guard of patience. Stay a little while.
The devil luxury with his fat rump and potato finger tickles these together. Fry, lechery, fry.
But will you then?
In faith, I will. Never trust me else.
Give me some token for the surety of it.
I'll fetch you one.
You have sworn patience.
Fear me not, sweet lord. I will not be myself, nor have cognition of what I feel. I am all patience.
Now the pledge. Now.
Here, Diomed. Keep this sleeve.
Oh, beauty, where is thy faith?
My lord.
I will be patient. Outwardly, I will.
You look upon that sleeve. Behold it well. He loved me. Oh, false wench, give it me again.
Whose was it?
It is no matter now, I have it again. I will not meet with you tomorrow night. I prithee, Diomed, visit me no more.
Now she sharpens. Well said, Whetstone.
I shall have this.
What, this?
Aye, that.
Oh, all you gods! Oh, pretty, pretty pledge, thy master now lies thinking in his bed of thee and me, and sighs and takes my glove and gives memorial dainty kisses to it as I kiss thee.
Nay, do not snatch it from me.
He that takes that takes my heart withal.
I had your heart before. This follows it.
I did swear patience.
You shall not have it, Diomed. Faith, you shall not. I'll give you something else.
I will have this. Whose was it?
It is no matter.
Come, tell me whose it was.
'Twas one that loved me better than you will. But now you have it. Take it.
Whose was it?
By all Diana's waiting women yond, and by herself, I will not tell you whose.
Tomorrow I will wear it on my helm, and grieve his spirit that dares not challenge it.
Were thou the devil, and were it on my horn, it should be challenged.
Well, 'tis done. 'Tis past. And yet it is not. I will not keep my word.
Why then farewell. Thou never shalt mock Diomed again.
You shall not go. One cannot speak a word, but it straight starts you.
I do not like this fooling.
Nor I, by Pluto, but that the like's not you pleases me best.
What shall I come? The hour.
I come. Oh, Jove, do come. I shall be plagued.
Farewell till then.
Good night. I for thee come. Troilus, farewell. One eye yet looks on thee, but with my heart the other eye doth see. Ah, poor our sex. This fault in us I find. The error of our eye directs our mind. What error leads must err. Oh, then conclude. Minds swayed by eyes are full of turpitude.
A proof of strength she could not publish more, unless she said my mind is now turned whore.
All's done, my lord.
It is.
Why stay we then?
To make a recordation to my soul of every syllable that he was spoke. But if I tell how these two did co-act, shall I not lie in publishing a truth? Sith yet there is a credence in my heart, an esperance so obstinately strong that doth invert the test of eyes and ears, as if those organs had deceptuous functions, created only to calumniate. Was Cressida here?
I cannot conjure, Troyan.
She was not, sure.
Most sure she was.
My negation hath no taste of madness.
Nor mine, my lord. Cressida was here but now.
Let it not be believed for womanhood. Think we had mothers. Do not give advantage to stubborn critics apt without a theme for deprivation to square the general sex by Cressida's rule. Rather think this not Cressida.
What has she done, Prince, that can soil our mothers?
Nothing at all. Unless that this were she.
Will he swagger himself out on his own eyes?
This she? No, this is Diomed's Cressida. If beauty have a soul, this is not she. If souls guide vows, if vows are sanctimony, if sanctimony be the god's delight, if there be rule in unity itself, this is not she. Oh, madness of discourse. That cause sets up with and against itself by full authority. Where reason can revolt without perdition, and loss assume all reason without revolt, this is and is not Cressid. Within my soul doth conduce a fight of this strange nature, that a thing, and separate, divides more wider than the sky and earth, and yet the spacious breadth of this division admits no orifice for a point as subtle as Ariadne's broken web to enter. Instance strong as Pluto's gates, Cressid is mine, tied with the bonds of heaven. Instance strong as heaven itself. The bonds of heaven are slipped, dissolved, and loosed, and with another knot 5-finger tied. The fractions of her faith, orts of her love, the fragments, scraps, the bits and crazy relics of her o'er-eaten faith are bound to Diomed.
May worthy Troilus be half attached with that which here his passion doth express?
Aye, Greek. And that shall be divulged well in characters as red as Mars, his heart inflamed with Venus. Never did young man fancy with so eternal and so fixed a soul. Hark, Greek. As much as I do Cressid love, so much by weight hate I her Diomed. That sleeve is mine that he'll bear in his helm. Were it a casque composed with Vulcan's skill, my sword should bite it. Not the dreadful spout which ship him into the hurricane call, constrained and masked by the almighty sun, shall dizzy with more clamor Neptune's ear in his descent than shall my prompted sword falling on Diomed.
He'll tickle it for his concubine.
Oh, Cressid! Oh, false Cressid! False, false, false! That all in truth stand by thy stated name, and they'll seem glorious!
Oh, contain yourself! Your passion draws ears hither.
I have been seeking you this hour, my lord. Hector by this is arming him in Troy. Ajax your guard stays to conduct you home.
With you, prince. My courteous lord, adieu. Farewell, revolted fair. And Diomed, stand fast and wear a castle on thy head.
I'll bring you to the gates.
Accept distracted thanks.
Would I could meet that rogue Diomed, I would croak like a raven. I would bode. Patroclus would give me anything for the intelligence of this whore. The parrot will not do more for an almond than he for a commodious drab. He is determined to meet Hector in the field tomorrow. So much hath Achilles killed his heart. Lechery, still wars and lechery, nothing else holds fashion. Burning devil take them!
When was my lord so ungently tempered to stop his ears against admonishment? Unarm, and do not fight today!
You train me to offend you, get you gone. By the everlasting gods, I'll go.
My dreams will sure prove ominous to the day.
No more, I say.
Where is my brother Hector?
Here, sister, armed and bloody in intent. Consort with me in loud and dear petition. Pursue we him on knees, for I have dreamt a bloody turbulence, and this whole night hath nothing been but shapes and forms of slaughter.
Oh, 'tis true.
Ho, bid my trumpet sound!
No notes of Sally, for the heavens, sweet brother.
Begone, I say, the gods have heard me swear.
The gods are deaf to hot and peevish vows. They are polluted offerings, more abhorred than spotted livers in the sacrifice.
Oh, be persuaded. Do not count it holy to hurt by being just.
It is the purpose that makes strong the vow. But vows to every purpose must not hold. Unarmed, sweet Hector.
You still, I say, mine honor keeps the weather of my fate. Life every man holds dear, but the dear man holds honor, far more precious dear than life. How now, young man? Meanest thou to fight today?
Cassandra, call my father to persuade.
No, faith, young Troilus doth thy harness youth. I am today in the vein of chivalry. Let grow thy sinews till their knots be strong, and tempt not yet the brushes of the war. Unarm thee, go, and doubt thou not, brave boy, I'll stand today for thee and me and Troy.
Brother Hector, you have a vice of mercy in you which better fits a lion than a man.
What vice is that? Good Troilus, chide me for it.
When many times the captive Grecian falls, even in the fan and wind of your fair sword, you bid them rise and live.
Oh, 'tis fair play.
Fool's play! By heaven, Hector!
How now? How now?
For the love of all the gods, let's leave the hermit pity with their mothers. And when we have our armors buckled on, the venomed vengeance ride upon our swords. Spur them to ruthful work, rein them from ruth.
Fie, savage, fie.
Hector vent his wars.
Troilus, I would not have you fight today.
Who should withhold me? Not fate obedience, nor the hand of Mars, beckoning with fiery truncheon my retire. Not Priamus and Hecuba on knees, their eyes are galled with recourse of tears. Nor you, my brother, with your true sword drawn, opposed to hinder me, should stop my way, but by my ruin.
Lay hold upon him, Priam. Hold him fast. He is thy crutch. Now, if thou lose thy stay, thou on him leaning, and all Troy on thee fall altogether.
Come, Hector, go back. Thy wife hath dreamt, thy mother hath had visions. Cassandra doth foresee, and I myself am like a prophet, suddenly enwrapped, to tell thee that this day is ominous. Therefore come back.
Aeneas is afield, and I do stand engaged to certain Greeks, even in the faith of valor, to appear to them this morning.
Aye, but thou shalt not go.
I must not break my faith. You know me dutiful, therefore, dear sir, let me not shame respect, but give me leave to take that course by your consent and voice which you do here forbid me. Royal Priam.
Oh, Priam, yield not to him.
Do not, dear father.
Andromache! I am offended with you. By the love you bear me, get you in.
This foolish, dreaming, superstitious girl makes all these bodements.
Oh, farewell, dear Hector. Look how thou diest. Look how thy eye turns pale. Look how thy wounds do bleed at many vents. Hark, how Troy roars. How Hecuba cries out, how poor Andromache shrills her sorrow forth. Behold, distraction, frenzy, and amazement, like witless antics one another meet, and all cry, Hector, Hector's dead! Oh, Hector.
Way away.
Farewell. But soft. Hector, I take my leave. Thou dost thyself and all our Troy deceive.
You are amazed, my liege, Turks claim. Go in and cheer the town. Will forth and fight. Do deeds of praise and tell you them at night.
Farewell. The gods of safety stand about thee.
They are at it, hark. Proud Diomed, believe I come to lose my armor, win my sleeve.
Do you hear, my lord? Do you hear?
What now?
Here's a letter come from yon poor girl.
Let me read.
Whoreson Tisic, a whoreson rascally Tisic, so troubles me. And the foolish fortune of this girl, and what one thing, what another, that I shall leave you one of these days. And I have a rheum in mine eyes too, and such an ache in my bones that unless a man were cursed, I cannot tell what to think on't. What says she there?
Words, mere words, no matter from the heart. The effect doth operate another way. Go wind to wind, their turn and change together. My love with words and airs still she feeds, but edifies another with her deeds.
Clawing one another. I'll go look on. Oh, that same dissembling, abominable varlet Diomed has got that same scurvy, doting, foolish young knave Sleeve of Troy there in his helm. I would fain see them meet. That same young Troyan ass that loves the whore there might send that Greekish, whore-masterly villain back to the dissembling, luxurious drab of a sleeveless errand. On the other side, the policy of those crafty, swearing rascals, that mouse-eaten, dry-cheese Nestor and that same dog-fox Ulysses, is proved not worth a blackberry. They set up in policy that mongrel cur Ajax against that dog of as bad a kind Achilles, and now is the cur Ajax prouder than the cur Achilles and will not arm today, whereupon the Grecians begin to proclaim barbarism, and policy grows into an ill opinion. Oh, soft, here comes Sleeve and the other.
Fly not! For should thou take the river Styx, I would swim after!
Thou dost miscall retire. I do not fly, but advantageous care withdrew me from the odds of multitude. Have at thee!
Hold thy whore Grecian, now to thy whore Troyan, now the sleeve, now the sleeve.
What art thou, Greek? Art thou for Hector's match? Art thou of blood and honor?
No, I am a rascal, a scurvy railing knave, a very filthy rogue.
I do believe thee live.
Oh, God of mercy that thou wilt believe me. But a plague break thy neck for frightening me. What's become of the wenching rogues? I think they have swallowed one another. I would laugh at that miracle, yet in a sword lechery eats itself.
Turn, slave, and fight!
Oh, what art thou?
A bastard son of Priam.
Oh, I'm a bastard too! I love bastards! I'm a bastard begot, bastard instructed, bastard in mind, bastard in valor, in everything illegitimate. One bear will not bite another, and wherefore should one bastard? Take heed, the quarrel's most ominous to us. If the son of a whore fight for a whore, he tempts judgment. Farewell, bastard!
The devil take thee, coward!
How now, brother?
Prince Troilus, here's a jesting knave.
A fool?
I, Prince Troilus.
The plague upon him. Is it a time to jest and dally now? What should the wars do with these jigging fools? On, Helenus, our work is yet but young.
Go, my servant, take thou Troilus' horse, present the fair steed to my lady Cressida. Fellow, commend my service to her beauty. Tell her I have chastised the amorous Troyan, and am her knight by proof.
I go, my lord. Renew. The dreadful Trojan force appalls our numbers. Patroclus is ta'en or slain, 'tis thought by Hector. Haste we, Diomed, to reinforcement, or we perish all.
Go bear Patroclus' body to Achilles, and bid the snail-paced Ajax arm for shame. There is 1,000 Hectors in the field. Here he fights on Galathea his horse, and there lacks work anon. He's there on foot, and there they fly or die like scaled schools before the belching whale. Then is he yonder, here, there, and everywhere he leaves and takes.
Oh, courage, princes! The great Achilles is arming, weeping, cursing, vowing vengeance. Patroclus' death hath roused his drowsy blood, together with his mangled myrmidons who noseless, handless, hacked and chipped come to him, crying on Hector. Ajax hath lost a friend and foams at mouth, and he is armed and at it, roaring for Troilus, who hath done today mad and fantastic execution.
Troilus, thou coward! Troilus!
Aye, there!
So, we draw together.
Where is this Hector? Come, thou boy queller! Show thy face!
know what it is to meet Achilles angry. Hector! Where's Hector? I will none but Hector.
Troilus, thou coward, Troilus, show thy head!
Troilus, I say, where's Troilus?
What wouldst thou?
I would correct him.
Were I the general, thou shouldst have my office ere that correction. Troilus, I say, what Troilus?
Oh, traitor Diomed! Turn thy false face, thou traitor, and pay thy life thou owest me for my horse.
Ha! Art thou there?
I'll fight with him alone. Stand, Diomed.
He is my prize, I will not look upon.
Come both, you cogging Greeks, have at you both.
Yea, Troilus! Oh, well fought, my youngest brother!
Now do I see thee, have at thee, Hector!
Pause, if thou wilt.
I do disdain thy courtesy, proud Troyan. Be happy that my arms are out of use. My rest and negligence befriends thee now. But thou anon shalt hear of me again, till when go seek thy fortune.
Fare thee well! I would have been much more a fresher man had I expected thee. Stand! Stand, thou Greek! Thou art a goodly mark. I like thy armor well. I'll fresh it and unlock the rivets all, but I'll be master of it. Wilt thou not, beast, abide? Why then fly on, I'll hunt thee for thy hide!
Come hear about me, you my myrmidons. Mark what I say, attend me where I wheel. Strike not a stroke, but keep yourselves in breath. And when I have the bloody Hector found, impale him with your weapons round about. In fellest manner execute your arms. Follow me, sirs, in my proceedings I. It is decreed Hector the Great must die.
Most putrefied course, so fair without, thy goodly armor thus hath cost thy life. Now is my day's work done, I'll take good breath. Rest, sword, thou hast thy fill of blood and death.
Look, Hector, how the sun begins to set, how ugly night comes breathing at his heels. Even with the veil and darkening of the sun, to close the day up, Hector's life is done.
I am unarmed, forgo this vantage, Greek.
Strike, fellows, strike! This is the man I seek! So Ilion, fall thou next! Come, Troy, sink down! Here lies thy heart, thy sinews, and thy bone! On Myrmidons, cry you all amain, Achilles hath the mighty Hector slain. Hark, our treat upon our Grecian part.
The Trojan trumpets sound the like, my lord.
The dragon wing of night o'erspreads the earth, and stickler-like the Hermes separate. My half-sup sword that frankly would have fed, pleased with this dainty bait, thus goes to bed. Come, tie his body to my horse's tail. Along the field I will the Trojan trail.
Achilles! Achilles! Hector's slain! Achilles! Hector's slain!
Hector's dead!
Hark! Hark! What shout is that?
Peace drums! The brute is Hector slain, and by Achilles.
If it be so, yet bragless let it be. Great Hector was as good a man as he.
March patiently along. Let one be sent to pray Achilles see us at our tent. If in his death the gods have us befriended, great Troy is ours, and our sharp wars are ended.
land hoe, yet are we masters of the field. Never go home. Here starve we out the night.
Hector is slain.
Hector? The gods forbid.
He's dead. And the murderer's horse's tail and beastly sword dragged through the shameful field. Frown on you, heavens, affect your rage with speed. Sit gods upon your thrones and smile at Troy. I say at once, let your brief plagues be mercy, and linger not our sure destructions on.
My lord, you do discomfort all the host.
You understand me not that tell me so. I do not speak of flight, of fear, of death, but dare all eminence that gods and men address their dangers in. Hector is gone. Who shall tell Priam so? Or Hecuba? Let him that will a screech owl I be called go into Troy and say their Hector's dead. There's a word will Priam turn to stone, make wells and naiobs of the maids and wives, cold statues of the youth. In a word, scare Troy out of itself. But march away. Hector is dead. There is no more to say. Stay yet! You vile, abominable tents, thus proudly pitched upon our Phrygian plain, let Titan rise as early as he dare. I'll through and through you, and thou great-sized coward, no space of earth shall sunder our two hates. I'll haunt thee like a wicked conscience still that moldeth goblins swift as frenzy's thoughts. Strike a free march to Troy! With comfort go! Hope of revenge shall hide our inward woe.
But hear you? I hear you!
Hence, broker, lackey, ignominy, and shame, pursue thy life and live on with thy name.
Goodly medicine for mine aching bones. Oh, world. This is the poor agent despised. Oh, traitors and bawds, how earnestly are you set a work, and how ill requited. Why should our endeavor be so desired, and the performance so loathed? What verse for it? What instance for it? Let me see. Full merrily the humble bee doth sing, till he hath lost his honey and his sting, and being once subdued in armed tale, sweet honey and sweet notes together fail. Good traitors in the flesh, set this in your painted cloths. As many as be here of Pandar's hall, your eyes half out, weep out at Pandar's fall. Or if you cannot weep, yet give some groans, though not for me, yet for your aching bones. Brethren and sisters of the hold door trade, some 2 months hence my will shall here be made. Till then I'll sweat and seek about for eases, and at that time bequeath you my diseases.
In Troilus and Cressida by William Shakespeare, Cassidy Berg played Aeneas, Lucas Bueling, Servant, Calchas, and First Myrmidon, Vivian Chaffin, Cressida, Keena Dietz, Diomedes, Pip Edmund, Troilus, Maeve, Filkins, Agamemnon. Gray Jensen, Patroclus. Anya Johnson, Alexander, Soldier, and Third Myrmidon. Mira Iwaszek played Nestor. Louise Kelly, Hector. Lucy Peltier, Achilles. Ilse Prokosch, Thersites. Abraham Riker, Pandarus. Søren Staffaucher, Helenus, Andromache, and Second Myrmidon. Tick Treitler, Paris. Christopher Tupper, Priam and Menelaus. Ashlyn Walters, Ulysses. Blake Walters, Ajax. And Caitlin Warshaw played Prologue, Cassandra, and Helen. Troilus and Cressida was produced by Shakespearean Youth Theatre under the artistic direction of Logan Verdorn. Sound design and musical composition by Dan Dukic. Stage management by Gabriel Peñalosa Hernandez. Web design by Josh Dudley. Special thanks to Allison Ruth, Joni Schultz, Kevin Springer, and Jake Otto. Troilus and Cressida was adapted and directed by Lucas Brazier-Fons. This production was supported by individual contributions. From donations to standing ovations, you make Shakespearean Youth Theatre possible. Thank you.